A good afternoon and welcome to the build-up show with some lineups announced ahead of the Burnley game. West Ham away to the bottom team in the league. Vincent Kompany said this is not a must-win game for Burnley. Strange one there. I wonder where he's hoping to pick up the points. So I do think he'll be taking it seriously. I took his comments with a pinch of salt. What we're going to do now is we're going to get, well, I say now, in about 2 minutes' time, we're going to get the lineups, the official lineups when they're announced from the club. Don't know them myself. I'm ignoring the live chat at the moment because I know there's a lot of you clever folk who get some of this news early. I sort of, the whole point is I sort of react to it without knowing. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with regard to Antonio, with regard to Bowen, with regard to Kudus. I just don't know that. So we're just going to wait on that at the moment, be in a couple of minutes' time. For those of you that are new to the Hammers Chat build-up show, welcome one and all, welcome. And I think if you're going to probably find this a little bit weird if you haven't been here before, because what we're going to do is we're going to read out the lineups, and then what we're going to do is we're going to discuss some lineups for both teams, and then we're going to have a little bet. But we're going to do it responsibly. In fact, I'm not asking you to give any of your money at all, because what we're going to do is we're going to compile a bet. We're going to do it together. We're going to select a few maybe quite unlikely bets. We're going to do perhaps a healthy scoreline to West Ham. We're going to try to name the goal scorers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give one of you lucky people that's watching now the cash. If we win, if the bet comes in, we're going to give you the cash. All I'm going to ask you to do is at the point where we make the bet is I'll ask you to type a phrase into the chat. We call it the phrase that pays. It's actually in the history of Hammers Chat, it's only ever paid twice. But, hey, when it's good, it's good. So anyway, there we go. So today, as I say, David Moyes taking the squad up to Burnley. Hopefully, we're going to get a win. I think it's a good game, to have at the moment for West Ham. Look, we did deserve to win against Nottingham Forest. There's no way Nottingham Forest deserved to win that game. No way. All right. But I still think we got away with it a little bit because we were really lethargic, weren't we, for the first hour in that game. And certainly picked it up towards the end of it. If we can put in a similar performance that we had like in the second half of that game, then I wouldn't anticipate we have too many worries today. That being said, I honestly don't know if Fanny Stings is going to be starting up front. No idea at all. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we're only about 40 seconds away from finding out. So that's going to be very, very interesting. We've got some good games coming up. If we win this and then beat Crystal Palace, that won't be easy. By the way, beating Crystal Palace, there are going to be no walkovers. Roy Hodgson's got them, all well set up. I think then we've got Tottenham. Then we got Fulham. If we can win 3 of the games out of that 4, West Ham be looking pretty good. Pretty good. In fact, we can actually, if everything went for us today, we could possibly go as high as 7th. I might have that wrong. I think we can draw level on points, at least. The goal difference would be the same. We could draw level on points with Newcastle. If Newcastle lost, I don't know why. I do think Newcastle lose today. There we go. Anyway, I managed to waffle through the first 4 minutes of this video. So let's go and find out exactly what the West Ham team is. I don't know why I did the music then, because they're always so bloody slow. I'm actually on the official site at the moment. There was no need for the music, no need for the fanfare. The team is not up. It's still not up. I'll tell you what we do. Hold on, this is a bit weird. They put up an image on the West Ham site, which is, like you can see the shirts hanging on the hanging on the wall, like in the changing rooms. Ward Prowse's shirt's hanging up and Fornell's shirt's hanging up. Are they being a bit cryptic there? I don't know. Here we go. Finally. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm getting all precious about it. They actually technically only about 30 seconds late. That's fine. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. That's why we do it. Oh, for goodness sake. That's why we do the initial reaction. Oh my word. Sorry. Let me tell you what the team is rather than me just moaning about it. Areola in goal, Soufal, Zuma, Agurd, Emerson, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Kudus, Paqueta, Danny Ings. I don't know what to say. I don't. Well, that's no good for a video since I'm on my own. Not knowing what to say is not going to produce a good video at all. I'm not happy with that. I am not happy with that. By the way, this is a really good point to say that we run a poll in every one of these build-up shows. So basically, you can let us know in the poll by voting with what you think of the lineup. Really, there you go. How do you feel about the starting a lineup? I don't think angry is one of them. I don't know. It's Charlie that does the poll. I don't know what the categories will be. I don't think right knobbed off is one of them, quite frankly. But that would be the one that I would choose. Oh dear, have I got another Danny Ings rant in me? I'm sure I have. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look, I mean, first of all, look, Jarrod Bowen is clearly not fully fit. He had some fluid on the knee. Clearly kept him from starting in this game. Antonio, we know there might have been a little bit of ligament damage on the knee, but he possibly could be back before Christmas, quite possibly. I'm sorry. I'm trying to concentrate and talk about the team, but all I can think about is Annie Dings. I just don't know. I don't know why. Look, maybe it's because he used to play for Burnley or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because David Moyes can't actually do anything else. That man is stubborn. That man is really, really stubborn. If he doesn't score today, it'd be 21 games. And I hope he scores, and I hope we win. Let me just say that. I hope Danny Ings scores, and I hope we win. And I hope I'm doing a video after saying, I don't need to worry about Danny Ings. He's scoring, and it would be good. Look, best will in the world. We ain't getting a striker until January anyway. But come on, give Mubama a chance. Give Cornet a chance to do something. Do something else. I don't know. I daren't even look at the chat. I'll look at it in a second. I bet you lot are as annoyed as I am. Yeah. Sorry, I've just looked. I said I wouldn't look at the chat. I just did. Oh dear. Okay, let's read this. Give Ings a chance, Gonzo. Mubama's never going to start. We all knew this. He's got a point to prove. Let's see what happens. Well, we have to see what happens. I have no sway in it, mate. I have no sway in it at all. I think the trouble is I have given him a chance and lots of chances. And it's hard. It is hard. I can't manipulate my emotions to that extent to look at that and think, hey! It's hard. It's hard. And as I say, you say give him a chance, can't do any more than say, I hope he scores and I hope he wins. To say I would have chosen him and this is the right thing, well, I'll be lying. I'll be lying to myself. I'll be lying to you all. Sorry, there's somebody that always puts RIPs to celebrities in the live chat, and he's at it again. Do you know what? This is the thing. I really do hope it is an Ings masterclass incoming. I really do. I'm not so stubborn that I'd sit here and getting annoyed if Ings scored. I'm really not. I would love him to score. I mean, it's brilliant. Well done, David Moyes. I'd say all the stuff. I really would. But I just think, you know what? We've got a guy at the moment who hasn't had a chance in terms of Maxwell Cornet, and Danny Ings has had lots of chances. So give Cornet a go, or give Mubama a chance. There's a guy that's desperate to play some football for West Ham. And I just want to know what the number is. If 20 games without a goal is not it, I'd like to know what it is from Moyes. Is 25? Is it 30? What is it? I'd like to know what it is. Hello, Alan. How are you? We should still win, and he'll say it's justified. Yeah, well, do you know what? If we do win, it will be justified. That's all David Moyes has got to do is win this game. Even forgetting everything else, I still think that David Moyes' best chance of winning this game would probably be with one of the other guys up front. That's the thing. Anyway, what do I know? We're going to find out. I think, Alan, you're absolutely right. I think we will win. I absolutely do think we will win. Right. Anyway, let's have a look at the bench, shall we? We'll have a little look at the bench and see what he's done there. Fabianski, Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Tilo Kehrer, Cresswell, Fornals, Cornet, Benrahma, Mubama. So it clearly wasn't a fib. Breaking news: Gareth Southgate wasn't lying in terms of Jarrod Bowen being injured. He might have lied about something else, but he didn't lie about that. Look, I don't know anything about. I'm not a medical man. You understand? Look, fluid on the knee, stick a bit of ointment on it or something like that. I don't know, but clearly Bowen's not fit. The bench is the bench is okay. I mean, it's defense heavy, really, isn't it, in that sense? But and he's got Cornet and he's got Obama on the bench. Really, he must he just all I can say is David Moyes must honestly think that Danny Ings is his best forward out of all of those. And that would be enough for me. I've got to say, that would be enough for me. I think if I was one of the other players, if I was Obama or I was Cornet, I'd say, do you know what? That's enough. Look, we got a bit of an injury crisis. You got Antonio out. You got Jared Bowen out. The guy you're putting in front of me hasn't scored in 20 games. Can I just go? You just let me go in January, please. I think that's probably what I'd be doing with this one. But look, Danny, for all concerned, I think we absolutely need to win today for David Moyes and for Danny Ings. And Danny Ings needs to score to sort of justify that. Anyway, I'm going to stop moaning about that. I'm not. For the moment, I'll stop. Can we have a little look, please, Charlie? I've got a Burnley team there, please, my friends. Let's see what Burnley are doing. Trafford, Coutinho, he's good. Bayer, O'Shea, Taylor, Gunnarsson, BURWHU, Brownhill, Colisho. Oh, he's good. Colisho is a very good player. Amundi Rodriguez. Yeah, I mean they've got some half decent players there. As I mentioned in the preview, I like Gunnarsson, I like Coutinho, I like Brownhill. He's really good, and Colisho is excellent player. I think that is the same team that they played last against Arsenal, quite possibly. And what was it? Was it 3-0 or 3-1, something like that? They did look a bit suspect from set pieces. Oh, Liverpool! Oh, hello! Breaking news! We got our Manchester correspondent here, Kerry. Happy Hammerette. Have a read of that while I sip my tea. They were all over them. City were all over them in the first half, weren't they? Is that not his name? I think we might have our phrase that pays already, quite frankly. Yeah, look, the expected team. That was the expected team from Burnley. I think it is precisely what they played against Arsenal. I might be wrong. Anyways, as Gio said, Trafford's been a little bit shaky. He's a good keeper, by the way. I think he's got a big future in the game. It's funny, actually. I was listening to the radio about just about a quarter of an hour before we went live here. And Stuart Pearce was on the radio. He was doing a commentary for the Liverpool Manchester City game, and Pearce said he thought it was going to be 1-1 today with West Ham and Burnley. Actually, I'm sorry. Somebody's actually given me the phrase. So what I've done, I've put a little marker on that comment. So when we do the phrase that pays, I think I'll use that. Thank you, Mr. Collingwood. Right, okay. We've got a bench, please. We've got a bench, please. Thank you. Vigorous, Roberts, Ekdal, Ramsey, Cullen, Redmond, Zalri, Brun Larson, Obafemi. Vigorous. I got. I'm so sorry. I've invented the phrase that pays. Is that how you say it? BURWHU. Oh my word. Excuse me. I got mad. Anyway, right. So yeah, the Burnley subs are BURWHU, Roberts, Ekdal, Ramsey, Cullen, Redmond. Hey, is that Nathan Redmond? He's about 90. Zaruri, Brun Larson, Obafemi. Okay. Right. I got to remember the phrase that pays. It's. Well, I've already said both words. If I forget it, I'm sure some of you will remind me. Should we do a bet? Because I think I'm going a little bit bonkers here. Right. For those of you who never done this before, and I know, look, beautiful. It's nearly 600 people watching live. Thank you very much. Do one of them if you want, but don't actually sit in front of your phone or your screen doing that. That's not going to help me at all. But actually, there's a little icon underneath the screen with a little thumbs up. If you can press that, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much. But those of you that have never been on this channel before, welcome, first of all. And I think what we're going to do now is a little bet. This goes a little bit crazy. It's easier when there's two of us here. But there you go. It's just me. So what I'm going to ask for is, I think we want a scoreline. And then after the scoreline, we're going to want 2 goal scorers. I'm going to give you one myself. Not like that. It's disgusting. I'm going to give you one, and it's going to be Thomas Souček. We're going to be my choice. And I tell you what, we're going to have some cards as well. I'm already seeing some things pop up. But I think I'm going to do scoreline. 1-0's not going to do it, guys. It's not. We could do 1-0, honestly, and we could do 1-0. We could do this as a goal scorer. Someone's going to win a tenner. We don't really want to do that. We want to give somebody a little bit more. Right, okay, Mr. Collingwood, I'm actually going to go with this. I'm going to go with West Ham 3. Yeah, I am. I'm going to go West Ham 3, Burnley 1, which is a great start. That is a really, really good start to this. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to find a goal scorer. Now, as I've already said, I'm going to choose Thomas Souček. And I'm going to do the anytime goal scorer on Thomas Souček. What I'm going to need from you, lovely people, is a set. Oh, okay. So I'm just looking at some of them here. Do you know what? Shall we do it? Shall we do a Danny Ings to score? Thanks, Callum. I think I'm going to. I'm putting faith. I'm putting faith in Fanny Stings. I'm putting faith in a manager. I don't know. I'm just deluded, and that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely. Do you know what? The funny thing is, I'm scrolling down a list, and I can't find him. There's no reason. Even Bet365 or any betting website you choose to use, I can't pick one. It's a little bit right. Okay. Again, the odds aren't great at the moment. The odds aren't great. What I think we want to do is find a player that's going to get a card. Oh, my words. That improves it a little bit. That does improve it a little bit. What? I'll tell you what, I get some big money, some serious money. Hey, Steve, I'm not insane. Blame Callum. He said it. Ings, I wish Ings was 1,000 to 1 to Scott. He wasn't even that. I'm not sure I can even do assists on here. People say madness, absolute madness for Annie Dings to score. Yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, do you know what? You know what, Kerry? Let's do it. Let's have a little bit of realism in the bet. This may well be. Oh, hold on. Do you know what? The bet would go to 1,000 to 1 if I did Edson Alvarez to be sent off. Let's do him to be booked. Let's do him to be booked. And let's have tell you what. Can any of you give me? I think this makes a difference, boys and girls. This is going to make a difference, a real difference. If we can get the third West Ham goal scorer. Third West Ham goal scorer, it becomes a really big bet. A really big bet. I'm watching. Kudus, that'll do. Jonathan, thank you very much. I'm going to take that. So I'm going to do Kudus to score. Okay, this is it. This is it. Add to bet slip. Right. Well, plainly and simply, the bet has been placed. Okay. Right. I'll just pull up the bet now and I'll tell you exactly what it is. Charlie, by the way, just so as I'm ready, can I have that Burnley bench up again? Again, please. I think you can all guess what the phrase that pays is going to be. But so if these unlikely things happen, somebody in the chat is going to win £700. I'm not even going to split it up. It's going to be £700. Next time I do this, I'm going to do a ridiculous bet. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do next time. Next time I do this on my own, I'm going to do a bet where what we'll do is we will predict all of the 3 o'clock Premier League kickoffs. Right, we'll predict the scoreline in all of them. And then someone wins 100 grand or something like that. We'll do something stupid and ridiculous. It might never happen, but if it does, why not? Do you know what I mean? What's the problem? I ain't got a problem. Of course you ain't got a problem. No one's going to say no to 100 grand, are they? If you do win it, will you buy me a pinball machine, though, please? Anyway, listen, it's right. So, okay, so what we got here, West Ham to win 3-1. Thomas Souček to score anytime. Annie Dings to score anytime. Edson Alvarez to be booked, and Mohammed Kudus to score any time wins someone 300, no, 300, 700 pounds. 700 pounds. 700 pounds. Talk to me. Talk to me. All you got to do is put in the phrase. What's his name again? I've forgotten his name. That's it. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. I really am. Vigorous brown hole. Vigorous brown hole. I cannot believe. I'm so sorry. We're losing subscribers here. We must be. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Where's Figgy gone? Hold on. You're a man of principle. I've got to say, Ionix, you are a man of principle. And that's a lot easier to do, Greg. I've got to be honest with you. Dean, thank you very much. Solid tips. Yes. Vigorous Buano. Talk to me. There we go. So if you are brave enough, don't do it in front of your children. They are actually the names of two Burnley players, sort of, a little bit. If you are brave enough to type that into the chat, then, and all those, Thomas Souček scores, and Kudus scores, and Fanny Sting scores, and Alvarez gets a card, and West Ham win 3-1. In that most unlikely of events, and you've typed that phrase, you will be entered into the draw. Normally, I'd let my daughter choose it, but I probably won't. I'll have to do it in a hack because I don't want to read in that, the sort of smut that you lot are typing. And you want to get your minds out the sewer, quite frankly. One of you is going to win £700. There you go. Can't say fairer than that. This is just how it goes when Gio is away. Yes, Dean, you are absolutely right. Whatever you do, don't type it into Google. You know, sometimes where your phone can hear what you're saying, right? So those of you might notice, myself and Gio, those of you that are patrons will know we do this thing called the Naked Podcast. We talk about things that are not West Ham related. So yesterday I uploaded a video that we did. It was like that, but it was about, when's too early to put your decorations up? Should you eat Yorkshire puddings for Christmas dinner and stuff like that? And during the podcast, Gio was talking about how he'd seen this lady take the packaging from some expensive sausages and put them on to some. Take the packaging off cheap sausages and put them on expensive sausages in Tesco and then take them to the till. And he was talking about it in a podcast. And that's all that happened yesterday. Today on my phone, it started popping up on my phone. Tesco's finest sausages. If the phone was listening to me, it's trying to sell me sausages. Robert, thank you very much. Nearly 600 watching, fewer than 200 likes. I bet they're retracting some of those likes once they've seen the phrase that's paid. Hey, look. West Ham massive. I'm not clicking up there, but I do appreciate what you've typed. I just think I might be going too far if I type that. So anyway, there you go. Let's get back to the football chat. So the West Ham team today, and the reason I've gone slightly doolally, is I think I was a little bit surprised with the West Ham team. If you don't know what it is, it's Areola in goal, Soufal at right back, Zuma captain at centre half, Agurd next to him, Emerson left back, Edson Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, and Thomas Souček in sort of central midfield positions. Pick and choose who's where. We have got Lucas Paqueta be starting on the left, but with a license to thrill, I think. Certainly, he doesn't have to stay out there. And we have Mohammed Kudus, fresh. Well, actually, not fresh. Because I say fresh, be stale off a flight from Cormorus, sort of 16-hour. Actually, look, I did go and look. 16-hour long haul flight he's been on. But he starts on the right, and everybody's favourite West Ham striker is Danny Ings starting up front. There you go. The bench. Somebody is asking about the bench. I can certainly help you out with that. It's Fabianski, Cresswell, El Fornicador, Pablo Fornel's the Fornicator, Konstantinos Mavropanos, Maxwell. I'm not gonna get a game. Cornet, Angelo Ogbonna, Aside Ben Rama, Tilo, buy me a £12 million carer, and Divine, I'm off Mabama because I don't get played at all. That is the bench that you can see there for West Ham. And there we go. So, boys and girls, what do we think? I think I know what we think. So, Hey, look. Well, actually, this is interesting, Walshy. You are the second person. Actually, you're not the second. I was just about to say to Walshy, you're the second person to say that today, but I realised it was Walshy saying it earlier. So actually, he's the first person to say it twice, if that makes sense. It's playing up front, Wayne. For us, what do we think? Okay, let me know. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think at the starting lineup. And don't forget, by the way, to put what you think of the starting lineup in the poll. Charlie will be along in a little while, and he'll let us know what the results of that poll are. Now, look, all I'm saying is, right, I'm just disappointed with Annie Dings. I actually tried to say his name properly. I'm disappointed with Annie Dings starting up front. Doesn't mean I don't want West Ham to win. I absolutely do. And I would love Annie Dings to score. I really would. I really would. If it turned out and he started becoming prolific, it would mean that we were playing to his strengths. If we were playing to his strengths, I'd quite like that too. Because I think we'd get, a little bit more exciting brand of football. I'm going to forget about the Annie Dings stuff for a minute, unless, of course, you lot bring it up. What I do think is important is something that we discussed on our Patreon breakfast show this morning. It's really important we don't sit back against this team. Really, really important. I think there's some times when it's acceptable, and if you're playing Man City, actually, our Anfield correspondent, not Anfield, is it? Our Etihad correspondent, Kerry, Happy Hammerette, have we got a latest score, Kerry, on that one, please? I think if you're playing Man City and you sit back, fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. But do we really need to sit back against Burnley? I've got 4 points. 4 points in the Premier League this season. And look, I think they're a good footballing team. I think you did a hell of a job. But hold on. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'm asking what the score is. That's a Happy Hammerette there. That's our Manchester correspondent. Just asked her for an update on the score. Nothing. She just laughed. It's terrible, isn't it? Well, we'll get back to you, but I know everyone knows what the score is. I just want Kerry to tell us, quite frankly. She'll be back soon. Let's have a little look. Let's get some choice words from people. Oh my goodness, Budgie! I accidentally. Oh my word! Excuse me. I didn't even mean to do that. I really didn't mean to do that. Right. Okay. Unknown Soldier has taken over from Kerry, all right, and she's telling us it's 1-1. There's no wind up. I don't wind it up. I just wanted to know what the score was. So do you know what? I've got myself to blame. Some of these messages I can't click on. It's my fault. I take full responsibility. Here we go. Right, let's have a look at this. Ings at 9 and Souček at 10. It's so embarrassing. Playing Paqueta out of position in Moyes' pathetic left wing role. Crap. Absolute crap. E. Davis does not like that at all. She may well live in Essex, but if you're a Manchester correspondent, then you need to know everything that goes on in Manchester. Let's have a little look here. Ings up front. Moyes useless. There we go. 1-1 up here. If only Man City had Ings to win this one. That's good. Thank you very much from the mighty Badger there, reporting live from the Etihad. Mark, don't encourage Budgie. Do not encourage him, for goodness sake. Let's have a look here. Michael Hallisey says should play 4-3-1-2. Paqueta as the number 10. Ward-Prowse on the right. Kudus on the left. Ings and Souček up front. I'll tell you now. So I was listening to excuse me, let me sip my tea. I would normally, if Gio was here, I would normally be sipping that tea when he was talking. There you go. So so I was listening to a video with Gio and Nick the other day. Very good video. Nick said about what's his name? Ward-Prowse on the right, swinging the ball in. Beckham-esque, like. I pictured it in my mind. It sounded like a good idea, actually. And so Michael, I quite like what you're saying there. I like this. Willings find his happy place today. Who knows? Well, there we go. Dr. Chip Rodeo. That's a fine name. Good evening, you sexy roosters from Australia. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Oh, hold on. Are we on score lines? Why not? I'll tell you what. Let's have your score lines. Let's have your score lines now. Let's do it. Tony started it off 2-1 surprise win for Burnley. I've got me spectacles on. So I think I do apologise for the puerile nature of this stream. But it's absolutely my fault. Okay, right. So we're getting some scores here. I do wonder if these 1-1s are going to be the most prevalent score. I mean, this is really, really interesting, actually. Mr. Driscoll says 4-0 West Ham. I like that. Che says a 2-2. A 2-2. 2-0 to the Irons, says Ionix. Is that really serious, Ralph? A 2-1 Burnley win. Wow, imagine. I mean, that would be terrible. I actually am, Stephen. I think I am. I know I probably should amend it after seeing what's happening up front. I'm going to stick with it. I not because I'm stubborn or anything. I probably should change it, but because I bet on it earlier. That was before I did the 3-1, by the way. You want to see my bet from earlier, by the way. Tim says 1-1. Chris Shepherd says 0-0. Let me just scroll down a little bit here. Alan says 2-1 Burnley. Jack says really disappointed with Moyes picking Ings, and it hasn't worked once. Mighty Badger says a chance for us to get 2 points closer to City. Is that finished? Is it finished with the City? Is it? Hammer down under. Ings 1-1 Ings brace. A goal at West Ham and an own goal. I see what you did there, my friend. I see what you did there. Ings get a hat-trick by half-time. All the other players can guess out of it. Yeah, absolutely. What we've got here, Steve says a 2-2 draw. I hope you are well, mate. Thank you very much, Mr. Collingwood. We do try. Make it happen. West Ham are massive. Let's hope we're massive today. Mark Kurzak says a 2-0 West Ham win. I think we're going to win. I really, really do. I know what you're saying, Dan. I know what you're saying. It would be the West Ham way, wouldn't it? It really would, to beat Forest and lose to Burnley. Particularly as bad as Burnley have been, you know. But I think we've got some good players. I really do. Burnley not won at home. We know what's coming. I mean, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is the West Ham way. Bavratelli, 32. That's good, huh? That sounds like it should be like a wine bar, like serving fine Italian beer, actually. Webley, 2-1 Burnley. Just a Yank West Ham fan, 2-1. Kudus and Souček goal. Well, for the bet to come in, we need 3-1, but both those players have to score as well as Annie Dings. And we need a Paqueta. No, we don't. No, an Alvarez card, don't we, for that one? Oh, Joan, a massive 5-0 win for West Ham. I like it. Liam says 2-0 West Ham. Mark, freshly shaved Mark. Not like that. God, you're not disgusting. Says 1-0. David Granger, board draw 0-0. Major says the same. 0-0. Major was talking about. Do you know what? I haven't actually checked. I had to do a load. As you know, Major, because Major's one of our patrons. He was on the chat earlier. He was talking about a pub in Winchester, if I'm not much mistaken. I had to go. My son had football, so I haven't looked. He said he was going to send us some pictures from the boozer, but I've not seen them as yet. A boozer with stuffed animals, apparently. Or walking sticks hanging from the ceiling. Oh, actually, it was a different boozer. Whatever. Don't worry. We'll deal with it another day. 4-3. That would be a humdinger. Breaking news. Liverpool team bus is on the breeze. I don't know why I'm clicking his stuff. 2-0 Burnley, says Roger. West Ham 2-0. Come on, you Irons. The Etihad. We know what you meant. We know exactly what you meant. We got lots. Okay, I'll tell you what. She may not be able to tell you what the score is at the Etihad, but she certainly knows what the score is going to be at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Thank you, Kerry. Happy Hammerette. She formerly our correspondent from the Etihad. Our Turf Moor correspondent. They still play at Turf. It's still called Turf Moor. They changed it. Was it called like the Tetley T Stadium or something like that? I don't know. Wayne Cox, I'm not clicking on that. That is Andy Walsh. I'm not clicking on that. You're not going to get me. Have I been got? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's predicted a draw. Burnley, a 3-1. This is what we need. The West Ham massive. This is what we. Hold on, is that Gatesy? Masquerade. I think it is. I think it's Gatesy. Got his own YouTube channel. It's called the West Ham Massive. There you go. Go and give him a look. You might get confused. You might think you've accidentally clicked onto the North Pole channel and it's Father Christmas, but it is Gatesy. Definitely. Sean says 1-0. 0-0. That's from Doobie. We'll do a couple more. 1-1. I think we will get a couple. Hold on. Sorry, my phone was getting in the way. It's my acoustic phone. Great for blocking sound, isn't it? I think so. I think you're absolutely right. I think we get a couple from corners. Anthony Newton says 2-1 Moyes. Moyes to score an own goal. Imagine we were 2-0 up and Moyes comes running on. I don't know why. Automatically, I'm thinking Moyes has got to head it in. Now, not at any point when I was picturing that scenario in my mind of David Moyes running in to score an own goal to get to credit Burnley with a score, did I ever imagine him knocking it in with his feet? I don't know why. I don't know why I imagined him heading it in. Right, somebody else who's well, actually, I was going to introduce him. Looks like he's glugging down a smoothie, actually. So for a smoothie, drinking a smoothie. It's Charlie Walsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. I'll take smoothie as a compliment.
Hello.
Huh?
That was a bloody good intro.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. End it again.
And from one smoothie to another, it's Charlie Walsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Ow! How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's good, Charlie.
How do you feel about that? Because my neighbours probably didn't enjoy it.
No. How are you? How's Danny?
He's falling over. His feet aren't what they once were. I'll tell you that much. I've had to wedge him in to get him to stand up properly.
He looks more grumpy than whence I saw him last. Do you know what? I've gone all Christmassy in my speech. From whence I saw him last.
From whence I saw him last.
Yeah.
All right, Scrooge. Yeah, no. I mean, he's always sort of had a sort of slightly disgruntled look. I don't know. He's just, he's vigilant, Gonzo. He's just overseeing the
What's he overseeing?
Stuff.
Is he overseeing the poll? Can he tell us what people are thinking about the starting lineup?
He can do. He asked specifically. He wanted to know how you felt about the starting 11. The options were ecstatic, it's all right, it's not all right, or honestly, it's awful. 3% of people said they were ecstatic. 21% of people said honestly, it's awful. 25% of people said it's all right, and 49% of people said it's not all right.
That's not all right. It's not all right.
I think it's fine.
What does Danny think of it?
Should we press the Danny button and see if it works? I haven't actually tried to press it in a while, so we'll see. Oh, there you go. Danny, what do you think as the camera shakes? He's looking. He's vibrating with excitement. He's loving it. He's seen another Danny in the lineup, and he is loving life. He is loving life.
It looks like he's got the fanny stings. He's jumping up and down so much.
He is loving life. He's very excited about it. I think you look at that lineup, right? I know you you combusted when it happened, but I feel like realistically, Danny Ings isn't in that lineup. Everyone's very happy with it.
It's true.
I think the only reason people aren't happy with Danny Ings, and don't get me wrong, it completely nullifies everything we're trying to do going forward.
That's a bit like saying, if there wasn't a pile of pickled onions in my breakfast, I'd be very happy with it.
Yeah, but there's more to the breakfast, It's more to the breakfast. Well, now, don't get me wrong. If I
contaminated the breakfast,
if I came to Casa de Gonzo, right, and you went, Charlie, do you want a fry up? Do you want an English breakfast? And I'm like, yeah. And then you presented with me a gherkin within the context of the English breakfast, I would probably be quite annoyed about it.
This is not like that. Honestly, this is like a big pickled egg on your Rice Krispies.
I think it's all right. I think the lineup is all right, personally. I do think, obviously, Danny Ings is a problem, and, it will affect everything we do. But realistically, I'm like, apart from that, I'm very happy with that lineup. I can't lie. Apart from that, that's exactly the lineup I would have played. And even then, I don't know what the solution was. I mean, obviously Mubama, but if you're not playing Mubama, then I don't know what the solution is otherwise.
No.
Maybe you play a system with Paqueta up front or something. I don't know. But outside of that, I'm trying. I look at Danny Ings. I just feel sorry for him in a way.
Not because of the hair.
No,
because that's looking good.
He's getting there now. Finally. I don't know. I'm like, he probably thinks it as well. To be fair, he's going out there. He's not like he's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna kill it today," because he's trying it. He tries his hardest. It's not like he's not trying. It's just like he's just going out there and going, "What am I doing here? What is going on here? What is the point of this?" I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe there is some sort of twist in the tale where it's some sort of 4-4-2 with Kudus next to him and somehow it works. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel sorry for him.
We can do no more. We've bet on him to score. No one, no channel in the world of football is showing more faith in Danny Ings than Hammers Chat.
Well, there you go. I mean, you could say no channel was as excited for him to join as Hammers Chat with Gio. I think Gio spoke for us all.
Yeah.
And then, no, we can only do so much, Gonzo.
I think this is we've welcomed Fanny Dings into the bosom of Hammers Chat.
Very much so.
Yeah,
very much so. I had very quickly. It's completely off topic of all that. I had a flashback yesterday. I was talking to someone. Do you remember when? I can't remember what game it was. I think it might be Watford. Maybe the last home game at Upton Park, when me and you were in that one of those weird boxes that they put the things in.
Yeah, the press just had it on. It was on scaffolding, Charlie.
I just had a random flashback to it yesterday. I was talking to someone, and I was trying to explain to them like the setup of this box, and we just walked. You led it. Just walked in as if we were like, yeah, we're meant to be here. It's fine. And then we were just in that box for the game. I think it was Watford.
It was the one right above the screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So in the corner there, and it was on scaffolding, and we had the whole. It was one. So I think above us, Jamie Redknapp or something was in the one above us. Was something like that. And there was all these stairs, these scaffolding stairs, and we had a whole one to ourselves, like the television, like when they sit in when they film, but like the TV studio bit. But honestly, what it looks like from the inside is not what it looks like from the outside. It was honestly, it was. Do you remember? I nicked the heater and brought the heater in there. Do you remember? I did. I don't know why they don't allow us to work for them anymore, West Ham. I took. It was cold. It was cold because it was literally like black. It was like timber but painted black with a wrap around it. I think it was a breathable, damp-proof membrane. But anyway, to the untrained eye, it would have looked like fabric. But
to me, it looked like fabric.
It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing in there. And downstairs there was this little room thing, and there was literally one of these. Can you see it?
Hang on, go on, do it again. There you go.
One of them. I've got one of these. Shows you how warm it is in here. Got one of those and took it into this TV studio that me and Charlie watched the game from.
That was wild. I was just trying to explain it to someone yesterday, and I found myself unable to really just being like, yeah, we just sort of went into this thing, and then It was a whole thing. That was a whole thing. Sorry, I just wanted to bring it up to you because I just came to my head yesterday.
Absolutely, a happy time, man. Happy time, really was. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, there you go. Well, there you go. Happy days.
Couldn't do that at the London Stadium. Couldn't do that. Didn't have to. They didn't have a scaffolding box in the corner where they had to put studios.
No, they didn't need to. Unfortunately, they built all of the seating on scaffolding at the London Stadium. So
they did. There was a fine.
To make a gantry or whatever it was. Yeah, but remember, I climbed up. Also they let me do the West Ham. Let me do the what was it? The Snapchat or the Instagram for one day, and I climbed up on the roof.
That was it. You were in the rafters somewhere.
Yeah, there was a ladder and like a thing where you pull the ladder down and got the fire. Honestly, well, there's footage. There's footage of me up on the roof. Oh
there
man,
is.
I got bollocked. They didn't let us back. We didn't get any more. Didn't get asked to do any West Ham media after that.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. You know.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Would you have got on the roof otherwise?
No.
I fear not. I fear not.
No. Not at all. Not at all. What can you do? Okay, hey, look, at the end of the day, we're just fans. And, and someone gives you pretty much the keys to Upton Park. I'm having some of this. What's in here? So there you go. That's where all that lovely footage came from. Anyway. Right, I'm going.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Enjoy the game.
Did you do the thing on the other video that I said?
Well, the thing on the other video?
The public, making it public and all that. You know, on the thing afterwards, the review. Did you make that public?
I can do it now if it's not public.
Thank you. But you know what? I thought what I was going to do is underneath the table. I was going to take my phone underneath the table, carry on talking to you, and secretly text you and ask you if you'd done it. And I thought I'm tying myself in knots here. You know, yeah.
I usually double check at halftime, but that's you know, like because Gio turns up at halftime, I go toilet, and when I come and sit back down, I just double check it's live. But I can do that. I can do that now. I'll do it literally. Gonzo, I'll do it right now. We can make sure together as a unit. Gio's not here, so we can form together like a transformer and become almost as useful as one Gio is.
Yeah.
we can get there together.
Absolutely. He's gone to Butlins this weekend. The winter saver special in the sun, 99 pence.
When the deals are there, the deals are there.
Gone there with
you got to take him. You got to take him while they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. So should be good. You'll have a good time. You're doing our knobbly knees competition. Kiss me quick at building sandcastles. Not so many.
Should now be public. Get excited.
Stone Beach. No wonder he's thinking these sandcastles won't stay together. Just pebbles. Didn't want to tell him. Right.
You don't want to ruin the excitement for the boy, you know.
No, absolutely. Right. I'm off. Everybody, enjoy the game. I hope we will. I think we're going to win. I'm very confident we're going to win. Very, very confident. And I'm sure we'll all be back here at whatever time. Actually, I was going to say won't even be 90 minutes. It'll be longer, won't it? So, I'll probably see you all about 5 o'clock. Let's be fair. After 5 o'clock, we'll celebrate the win. We'll go through it all. Charlie, have a very, very lovely watch along. Charlie's going to take you all the way through the game now. He's going to watch it along with you. Danny's with him. There you go. Not Danny Ings, don't worry. Hey, we wouldn't do that to you. We've got Danny DeVito. David Moyes has got Danny Ings. Charlie, I'm going to go. I'll catch you later, mate.
Speak to you later. Bye.
See you, matey.
Thank you, Gonzo. Thank you all for joining. I hope you're all well. Hope you're good. Hope you're vibing today. It's exciting today, you know. We're back from international break. We're feeling it. We're like, okay, right, Burnley, a team that are beatable. You know, they've not done so well this season. Vincent Kompany coming up into the Premier League with Burnley, playing a different style of football, all of that stuff. Not gone well for them. So we're looking at it and thinking, this is a team we can beat. This is a team we can beat. Doctor Who's back today. We had the late toy show yesterday. It's all kicking off. So we start by asking, as we always do, how confident you are for today's game. 1 being the least confident, 10 being the most confident possible. Lob them in the live chat and we'll run through it and pick up the vibes. I'm cold, hence the jumper, and I've also got a duvet on my legs because I am very cold. It's freezing in here. Give me an art. Just keep going. It'll take forever. Happy, how are you? My G, how are you? Stu, good to see you, sir. I just saw it. It's gone flying by. In fact, actually, before we get to the numbers, although Major is at a 5, which I can respect, let's look through the lineups with a little bit more detail. Because to be honest with you, what happens is I just type them up as fast as humanly possible. Because I'm racing against them saying the words out loud. So I just do it as fast as possible and don't fully take it in. Although, obviously, Danny Ings is something we fully take in. West Ham line up as such. Areola starts and goal with Sufal, Zuma, Agerd, and Emerson in defence. Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and Souček in midfield with Kudus on one side, Paqueta on the other, and Danny Ings up front. So I suspect it will be a 4-1-4-1. That's what my idea would be, with Paqueta on the left and Kudus on the right. That seems to make sense in my head. Although again, with Danny Ings up front, you're sort of hamstrung by everything. But that's kind of what I think it will probably be. It could, like I say, maybe there's a spanner in the works. Maybe there's a spanner. It's some sort of 4-4-2 type thing with James Ward-Prowse at right mid. I don't know. You know, maybe we could also. I don't know. There's options for what it could be. It could be just a 4-2-3-1 as well. I don't know, but my gut says it will probably be a 4-1-4. We'll see as the game plays out, but that is the starting 11. As I said to Gonzo, outside of Danny Ings, that's probably the lineup most people would agree is strongest. You could maybe move out of the players that are available potentially, I know some people would maybe move out, for example, maybe giving Cornet a chance for instead of Souček or something like that. There's certainly some options there, but realistically, it's pretty much the strongest 11 we have. And again, Danny Ings, it just is what it is. He's Moyes' preferred striker. Do I know why? No. Do I understand it? No. But it is what it is. I should also say while we're here, actually, thank you to GP. When I originally messaged this, I know Gonzo was doing other things and I was typing other things, so I couldn't pull it up. I read it as PS2s and got very excited, but not true. But thank you, GP, and also thank you to Tom as well, who dropped it in while me and Gonzo were talking. Appreciated it. Because I didn't think Gonzo was seeing it at that point. Gonzo was not paying attention at that point to the live chat. I think he's moving too quickly. However, you're welcome. RTD's back. We gotta get hyped. The bench is Fabianski, Cresswell, Fornals, Mavropanos, Cornet, Ogbonna, Benrahma, Kera, and Mubama. I'll run it along the bottom of the screen in positional order. It's a strong bench, you know. It's a relatively strong bench. It's not super balanced, but it is what it is. I think it's about as strong a bench as we can have with the injuries we've got. I was playing FIFA 14 recently for some reason, and I just realised how much stronger as a unit, as a team we are, how much stronger as a team we are than we were back then. And when I look at that bench, I'm like, flipping hell, we've done all right for ourselves in a way, you know? Is that ideal? No. Would we want some of those people in there? No. Like, do we need to move some people on? Is there Deadwood in this team? Yeah, of course there is. But, like, my God, have we come a long way. My God, have we come a long way. But that is the bench. Let's look at Burnley's lineup. And while that does that, let's have a look at some of these confidence levels, shall we? There we go. There's you. Good to see you, sir. And if you haven't already, obviously subscribe to the same thing. 5 would have been 9 with Mubama next to Ings, says Mark. Dave, however, is at a 9. 6 says Lassa. 5 says Major. 8 3.1427 says Tom. 6 7 8 10 6 5 5 8 was more confident before the lineups. I know we have it in us to get the 3 points. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a vibe. I guess that's kind of where I would be as well, to be fair. Hope someone else can get a chance as Cone, which I do as well. I love Pablo Fornas. 4 7 7 7.5. Good to see you, Dean. If you haven't already, Dean R. Marsh on Twitter. Or on X before it burns down to the ground, because it feels like it's. Do you remember when he said he was going to get rid of bots? Anyway, 3.14, and it was 38 degrees. All right, HD. All right, show off. It's freezing in North Idaho today. Freezing. The snow is at full blast. 6 5. 6.5. 8 says M. Collingwood. It may not be pretty, but the likes of Paqueta, Prowse, and Kudus will find a way. Whereas Carl says 5. You never know what to expect from us. Feel sorry for Kudus and Paqueta. Hope they have some magic today. And a big 8. Budgie's also here. Good to see Budge as well. Budge, hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. If you aren't already watching Green Street Elites. Again, what are you doing? Burnley's lineup is as such. They put it out in numerical order. I kind of like the minimalist style they've got going on, but it is in numerical order, which means I hate it. However, in positional order, they are playing Trafford and goal with Vitinha, Bayer, O'Shea, and Taylor at the back. You've got Goodmanson, Berg, Brownhill, and Koleosho in midfield, with Amduini and Rodriguez up front. Yeah, I mean, look, they're a team that are doing their thing. It's difficult to come up from the Championship, especially when you're trying to play a different style of football that isn't just survival. It's always rough. It's always a difficult thing to do. They're in a situation where they've got some players who are clearly good enough for the Premier League, but a lot of players they've got some players who are notably young. For example, Trafford will potentially at one point become good enough to play in the Premier League, but maybe isn't yet. They've got some other players who are like Brownhill's definitely good enough to play in the Premier League, but has been around a while. Goodmanson, Berg, definitely someone who's good enough to play in the Premier League. Goodmanson has. They've got people in there, but it's one of those things where it's just not quite It's just not quite there yet, and you fear for them if it doesn't get there during the season. But they're staying true to their cause, and no one's been sacked yet, and Kompany isn't one of them, which I think is good to see. Their bench. Vigoro, Roberts, Ekdal, Ramsey, Josh Cullen, of course, Nathan Redmond, Zauri, Brun Larson, and Obafemi. Again, that's positionally-ish. some people on there that you'll recognise. It is what it is. You can see why they're towards the bottom of the table, but also you can see the shining lights of stuff that could happen if it happens. But we're looking at a situation where it's just becoming difficult for them. It's going to have to happen sooner rather than later for them, if it is to at all. -5 here in Detroit. Peacads, Jesus. It's worse for you then. It's definitely worse for you. I still don't know where it is, Wayne. I'll be honest with you. I tried looking for it. I don't know where it is. I think it's right at the bottom. I think it's right at the very, very bottom of the pile of clothes that just hasn't been washed for, at this point, many a year. My trustworthy friend. Yeah. I still play FIFA. I can respect that. I want to play FIFA 2002. Just I can't be asked to set up my PS2 or PS1 to actually play it. But I want to. I'm quite desperate to. Quite desperate to. Where you sleep is wild. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Just so much snow. Appreciate you, Wetty, bro. Hope you're good. A 3-1. We will be getting on to score predictions in just a couple of minutes. Before we do that, let's just quickly do a bit of sub bingo. Sub bingo is the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitute. You don't have to say the player, although I will have the bench running across the bottom of the screen just in case you want to get precise about it. I, of course, am going to say 69 minutes, and I'm going to say it's going to be... But you know what? I'm going to say it. 69. Ings for Mubama. I'm putting it out there. You know? Oh, let's go. I can respect that bunch. I won't be watching it live because Jesus Christ, me up at that time in the morning, zero chance. But I will be tuning into it after. I can tell you that much for a fact. Again, Green Street Elise, if you haven't already. Good to see you, Steve. I hope Rhodes is treating you well. We'll be in afternoon set pieces potentially. I did hear Gonzo. I did. Thank you. The North Idaho TV network is an untamed beast. I did hear Gonzo say they're potentially bad at set pieces. I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched enough of Burnley to really pick up on how good or bad they are at defending set pieces. But if that's true, I'm here for it. Lee. Good to see you, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. You'll be getting involved in the score prediction soon, I'm sure. Diablo 4's is he? I should tell my girlfriend because she wants to play Diablo 4 as well, and I might get involved in that as well. I don't have the time. I don't have work. I have too much work to do, but at the same time, maybe I could just make time. I've been playing Teardown a lot as well. Let's just come out on PlayStation. I've been playing Teardown. Teardown's great. Anyway, moving on. Let's have a look at some of these sub bingos. And I'll tell you what, while I run through these, let's get them in. Let's get these score predictions in. We've spoken about the teams. We're about to speak about the subs. We've spoken about their team, our team, their bench, our bench. We've spoken about many different things. So now it's time for no more flipping, no more flopping. It's time to lock in those score predictions. We're going to lock them in, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Drop them in. No more changing. Oh, my eye is going mad. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a big red bloodshot eye for the entire game, which probably isn't useful, but there you go. 5 minutes, says Tom. Stress. Imagine if he did that. Imagine if he just flying... Bad times. Yeah, I saw that. Just in case you haven't seen it. GP did put in £2. Thank you very much. It's in the top there. And I haven't put Tom in there. I need to put you in the top thing as well at some point. Mubama for Ings, 85 minutes is it's probably accurate for being honest, man. It's probably accurate. Lucas is saying 67th minute for Nows. It's not bad. Baroque is saying 60 minutes Mubama, 65 minutes, 46 minutes Mubama on for Ings, 71 minutes Ings on for Cornet. Oh, sorry. Ings off for Cornet. I might have said the other one wrong as well. Mubama on for Ings. No, I did say that. I think he spelled it out for me, so if I got that wrong while the words were on the screen, I would have been impressed. 71 minutes for my trustworthy friend. 72 minutes Cullen for Suchek. Imagine the vibes, Logan. You just live it. I hope you're well, by the way. I hope everyone's well in your world, but you know, maybe Limassol hoping to find a game somewhere. Neil is living it up. There's some people living it up today, and I can respect that. 97 minutes Mubama for Ings, probably accurate. 65 minutes Ben Rama for Alvarez. 72 minutes, 73 minutes Ings for Cornet. Again, probably I imagine Cornet's played up front for us under David Moyes. It's eminently a possibility that he could come on up front, to be fair. Rob, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Robert, there saying most teams get the first win against West Ham. Stress, but not true. Stress but true. Mubama on for Ings in the first minute, says Neil. I hope we see something of Mubama and Cornet today. If they can't get on today, they never will, says Alan. Not necessarily incorrect, is he, to be honest about it. AK is saying 3 minutes, Ogbonna for Ings. 45 minutes, says P-Gads. We're now going to be getting into score predictions. We're just going to roll straight into them. Logan is saying 2-1. Actually, before we dive fully into score predictions, I should say we are live throughout this entire game. We'll be watching the game together. Do feel free to get involved, hang around, because we much love your presence and also need it, because otherwise it's just me and a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito. Well, I say cardboard cutout. He is obviously very real, but a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito. Just mumbling to myself. So please do get involved, hang around, because we'll be here throughout the entire game. First half, half time, second half, and then of course straight after that, Gonzo will be live with his full match review straight after the game. Of which Dylan Cole will spam into the chat, so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. We've got the entirety of the day covered for you. It's sorted, it's ready, we're good to go. So please make sure to stick around. If you are looking for a way to watch the game, of course, because it's a 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff, which means there aren't very, for some reason in the UK, you're just not allowed to watch it because of the rules. There are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down to the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. It's a lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community, but more importantly, if all fans of clubs are welcome, and on the left hand side there is a bit there called Stream Links, in which you will find what you're looking for. 4-0 says Mister, which is a big scoreline for us. 4-1 to the Irons. Don't worry, guys. Ings will save us. 92 minutes. Mubama for Kudus. 1-1. Ings brace. Budgie going back to the sub bingo. Again, they're going to be mixed up slightly here. 49 minutes. Ogbonna for Aged. Stress, because probably means an injury. Although big Ogbonna with his big shiny dome. Never hate to see it. David's going with a cheeky 2-2 Desmond. We're going for Mark 1-0 Hammers. AK 1-1 Ballfest. Kudus off injured. 46 minutes. Paqueta 17 minutes for Ben Rama. 66th minute. Ben Rama on for Ings. Paqueta at striker. That's also a strong shout, Lucas. I will say that is also a strong shout. Something I could probably back. 2-1 to the mighty Irons. Half a Desmond. 1-1. Judas says 2-1. Stu says 2-1. 4-1, 3 goals from corners, says Jackie. Lassie saying 1-0 win to West Ham. Souček to score. I can respect that. I think I said on I was watching E20 yesterday or the day before. I don't know when it was. Can't remember. Days all blur into one for me at the moment, so I don't remember exactly what day it was. But I was watching E20 and I said in the live chat of that 1-1, and I think I'll probably stick to it. Although I think there is something in there that we could do. We could potentially do it. You know, there's just something in the back of my mind that says we might be able to just sneakily nab this one. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. I think 1-1 is the sensible prediction. I do, of course, have a timer in the top corner here, which will tell you exactly how far behind you I am. Because, of course, when you're playing, when you're in North Idaho, as I am, there's just a little bit of lag, you know, movements, the internet and streaming and all that stuff. There's just going to be a bit. So there is a timer up here, which will tell you exactly how far behind you I am. However, we are getting ready to kick off at Turf Moor on my screen. Thanks to the Idaho TV network. That's you've had a nightmare there. You've had a nightmare there, OG. I can't lie to you. 15 degrees in Portugal today. It's so cold. I feel like it's colder in here than it is outside. It's a problem. This house does not retain heat. I say house. This flat does not retain heat, and I tell you what, it does not keep the coldness out in any way, shape, or form. Wally, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. 68 minutes for Ings for Cornet. 34 minutes says Sean. We'll see how it ends up going. There's something in me, like I say, there's something in me that says that we could sneak this one in. We could get a dub out of this, and I think we should. Burnley are a team who've struggled this season. I don't think that's unfair to say. They're a team who, I don't know their exact record. Is it 1 win and 1 draw? I think they've got 4 points. The rest are losses. So if we're looking at a side that we should be beating, Burnley are definitely one of them. But away from home, it's not going to be super easy. This is a team who are going to be very up for winning. I know they have a lot to prove. A manager that knows he has a lot to prove. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how it actually ends up working out. But I've got a little bit of something in me that says it's going to happen. But my brain, with the injuries, thinks 1-1 is probably more than likely. A banana skin, exactly, Simon, exactly. Right, we're about to get underway, so prepare yourselves. It's West Ham United versus Burnley at Turf Moor in the Premier League. Just waiting for their whistle to go. Referee is just checking his watch. Burnley to kick off West Ham in the beautiful all-white kit that I absolutely adore. Just waiting for referee's still looking around, waiting for whatever to happen. Abdouni is the man who's going to be kicking off. We've got to zoom in on him. That's how long it's taken. Any danger of kicking off today, ref? He's still looking at his watch. This is unreal. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe. There we go. We're underway. The Paqueta boys. It's time to run two things. Come on, you irons. Big. Good to see you. Subscribe a lot. Hope you're well. Listen. I don't. We don't get to see him enough to be able to learn how to spell his name, Dylan. That's all I'm gonna say. Hope you are ASO. ASO XO. Bang. I'm going to lob one of those up, you know what I mean? Oh, yes, Pete. Thank you. You've reminded me. Sorry, I didn't know the bench was still running across the screen. Both teams running across the bottom of the screen now. Thank you very much, Pete. Huge. It is what it is. If I can figure it out and maybe get a slightly faster one over time, we'll see. But yeah. I do love this all-white kit, big long ball looking for Danny Ings instantaneously. First questions we need to ask: what's the formation? Are we seeing the 4-1-4-1? Because if it is a 4-1-4-1, what we'll be seeing is probably when we're in attack, when we're in possession, we'll see James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček really getting forward into those areas, especially with Danny Ings up front. We need someone sort of alongside him. I would probably prefer it to be Thomas Souček. I think as much as that exposes James Ward-Prowse a little bit, I think in this instance specifically with Danny Ings, I would really like to see Thomas Souček being the guy to really push forward into those attacking areas, just because he can really deal with the centre backs well. We're passing it around at the back at the moment, so I can't quite see. Although in that sense, it does. Yeah, Thomas Souček is the one who's going forward. It feels like Paqueta does well there to keep that one in under pressure from Vitinho. Oh, that's a beautiful ball into Thomas Souček header. Can't quite get the flick on nicely and straight into the hands of Trafford in the end. But Paqueta does brilliantly there, and then the ball in with his left foot into Souček is really nice. It would have been a spectacular goal had he converted, but it would have taken a lot to make that happen. But yeah, it does look like Thomas Souček is being pushed right far forward, really getting in there. Him and Danny Ings just leading the press right now, just covering those passing lanes. As Trafford has the ball at his feet, Thomas Souček goes to press. It's like I say, I think it's better in this game specifically. In other instances, I would prefer James Ward-Prowse being the guy going forward a lot of times, just because I think he's a lot more susceptible at the back than Thomas Souček is. But with Danny Ings in there, you want a big guy, a big presence next to him. I think it's necessary. He's very far forward right now. Good to see you, Trouty. Hope work's going well for you, bro. Work on a Saturday. You hate to see it. I left that life and it's not fun. Hope you are there. Jay, good to see you. Good day from down under. It's 2 a.m. here, unfortunately. A few things were sent from bed. Listen. Hopefully Ings can kind of provide for you at this extreme hours. Arto, good to see you, sir. Hope you well. Big. What we having? Dean? What's on the menu today? I've just got a cup of tea and a bottle of water. A glass of water. I also just had an innocent energized smoothie. You know, for the vibes. Burnley passing it around at the moment. Tried to get forward there, but didn't really find a space. O'Shea, big ball forward. Can't quite get the control there. Although they keep it in. Nice. I mean, Alvarez blocks it well, but Burnley come away with the ball. And Alvarez gets a secondary block. It's going to be a corner to Burnley. Corner to Burnley. I'll take not that bad. That's a compliment I'll take, Glee. You know? I saw an interview of her the other day. She's talking about like bloods or stuff with MGK and that. Don't know what's going on there. Brownhill to whip it in. Paqueta attacks with a header. Shot from range from Burnley goes straight into the hands of Areola. Appreciate you for being here at all, Budge. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the game. Hopefully it's a big dub. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Green Street even. Green Street, he only talks about former West Ham and Ireland centre-back Gary Breen. Green Street Elites. Check out Green Street Elites. Thank you, Budge, for being here. I appreciate it. Remember Gary Breen? What guy? And by what a guy, I mean I don't remember a single game he played. But what a guy regardless. Ooh. You're having a huge Saturday, Dean. Very jealous. I had a pan of chocolat before we started. That's all I've eaten today. But then again, I've not been up. I only got up at 1. So we're in possession of the ball right now, just playing it around. It's a game that it's playing out so far as you would expect it to be playing out. We're passing it around at the moment, not really doing too much of it. We're doing okay on the ball. Danny Ings does well to get up to meet that one. Thomas Souček tries to flick it onto Paqueta, couldn't quite manage it. Whipped in from Emerson, can't quite get on the end of that one. It's cleared away by Burnley, but Ward-Prowse with a nice first touch just keeps possession and keeps us going forward. Kudus puts it onto his left across. Paqueta tries to header it back across goal, can't quite get there. Thomas Souček is very, very far forward. And in an attacking sense, that's really, really necessary for us. Really, really necessary for us. I respect it. I fully respect it. I did not know Charlie O'Connor, but you love to see it. An excellent first name. I'm sure was it Gary? Was no Gary? Sure, I'm just gonna. Yeah, Gary Breen is the one I'm thinking of. Who's Neil Breen? Did we have a Neil? Oh, that guy! Jean-Claude with an Unreal reference. I've never known that guy's name, but I've seen so much about him. My girlfriend's watched this film and thinks it's incredible and keeps trying to get me to watch it, and I just don't find the time. What a guy. Hopefully it'll be there soon. Saturdays kickoffs that aren't late are quite difficult because you know what it's like. But the links above it usually work. Again, if you do use any links from the Discord, make sure to use. Oh, not a bad pass from Burnley. Doesn't quite work out. West Ham with a free kick in the middle of the park. We'll take that. Make sure to use antivirus and all that sorts of good stuff. VPNs. Just massively recommended. Sanderberg just fouling Danny Ings there. We'll take that. I like Sanderberg. Yes, that's the vibe. Commentators just talking about how Danny Ings is on the longest run of his career without scoring, which yeah. Brownhill trying to play the ball forward, instead plays it back. Again, it's as you would expect. Two teams a little bit tentative to commit. We're sort of in a 4-4-1-1, 4-2-3-1 style thing, with Thomas Souček being the guy who's matching Danny Ings up front a lot of the time. At least in a possession sense. Right now, for example, Burnley are passing the ball around in their own half, sort of amongst the defenders and centre mids, and Sanderberg getting involved there. Brownhill's around, but the centre backs mostly just passing it around. trying to sort of just drag us in a little bit, trying to find us outside of that press. Kudus tried to charge him down there well. And as we get deeper, Thomas Souček gets deeper, and we sort of, oh, there you go, nicely done. Just a little bit of pressing there, but don't even touch the ball. Paqueta, I can't quite find it, but there's something there. But yeah, they're just trying to pass it round, trying to just draw us out of our position, which is the only way they're really going to be able to do it. And they're not really showing an ability to do that. Thomas Souček charging around sort of as they pass around the back. Kufal holding his neck there. Yeah, it just looks almost like a bit of whiplash from a bit of Kufal there. But yeah. It almost allows us just having those two up front with Ings and Souček when they are passing it around at the back, hoping to draw us out. It just gives us a bit more time and space to sort of keep James Ward-Prowse sort of a little bit deeper. Obviously Alvarez there as well stops us being drawn out too much. And then when we get the ball, if we do go on the counter attack, you know, Souček's just a much better option in those positions than Danny Ings is. Gives him someone to play off. You love to see it, even if it is Thomas Souček. It works for us. It works. So far, I feel like we're the better team, although it is 0-0 and there's not much chances being created so far. The chat won't like you spoiling, but I don't know how far behind the chat will be behind you, because you sound very much on point, Diamond Stripe, but still good chicken nuggets and potatoes. That, first of all, Decker's massive, gargantuanly large. Very jealous. Played forward again on the ball. Controls it well. Tries to ping it into the path of Danny Ings. Lots of cross-field dives. We're going along to Danny Ings a surprising amount. Given Thomas Souček is standing there, Danny Ings is the guy who tends to be getting on the end of it a little bit more often than not. Played out wide. Burnley trying to work their way forward centrally now. Sander Berg sort of wobbles it forward. Not the best dribbler in the world, but they managed to maintain possession of the ball. Vitinha does really well there. Lays into the path, brilliantly dispossessed there by Zuma. It was a lot of pressure there, and he manages to just knock it out from underneath him. It looked very scary and very dangerous for a second, but he does well to just knock that one away, and Burnley forced all the way back after it. Yeah, when we go into our defensive shape, it is more of a 4-1-4-1. You got Souček sort of drops into a much deeper position with James Ward-Prowse. Alvarez just dropping in behind the midfield line ahead of the defenders, just screening. You can see him there just getting involved. James Ward-Prowse just sticking out a foot. Ends up walking out to the wide side, just punted away by Zuma with just any sort of foot possible. Paqueta loses it in an awful position. This is a great opportunity for Burnley. Rodriguez plays it across the box. Jesus Christ. Incredibly close from Amundini. How do you pronounce his name? Amdini? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to say Amduini. Amduni is how I'm going to say it. But Paqueta loses it in an awful position. And not just in an awful position of the pitch, but also while everyone else is sort of working their way forward because he's on the ball. And it gets played quickly to to James Rodriguez, as it were, on the right, who just plays it across first time across the box. And Amdini almost gets there. Thankfully he doesn't. And our goalkeeper goes straight back to him. But flipping hell, that was awfully close. Awfully close. Not well done from Paqueta. Nicely dispossessed there from Kudus. Tries to get forward. Referee waves play on nicely. Good refereeing there, to be fair. Good refereeing today, to be fair. Kudus does well to win the ball back, takes the ball past I don't know what the Burnley player was. I think it might have been Brownhill, who at full stretch just takes him out. He gets back onto his feet quickly. Kudus, so the referee tries to play advantage, but the ball through to Paqueta doesn't quite work out. It was Amdouni. Oh, it's going to be a problem all day, isn't it? Amdouni. Who's the foul? Not me. Appreciate it, dude. Big day today. I'm very excited. The girlfriend we're talking about it earlier. It's just a big bit of hype. But I hope you're well, bro. Appreciate you for coming in, dropping by, and enjoy later. Well, hopefully we all will enjoy later, but you know. I could give us. I've never had Frazzles, but I could back a Frazzles right now. You know, the little crisp, the little bacon crisp things. Never had them, but I could back them right now. A pub staple, you know. I don't had any. Never had any. I was gonna say in ages. I've just never had a packet. But if someone offers me a packet right now, I'll take it. I'll take it. I saw quite a bit of this from Vincent Kompany earlier as well. We're doing okay. We're doing, like I say, I think we're doing better than them. That was a notable chance. Burnley have created the best chance of the game, to be fair. I think outside of that, is he there? Is he there? Is he here? I didn't know. Decker's, you're scaring me. I'm going to have to message him after this. Just tell him, not even ask him if he's here. I'll just, 2 words, stay away. No, it's a lot of grey hair. You got grey hairs up here. You got grey hairs in the beard. Lots of grey, GP, lots of greys. Played forward for West Ham, out wide to Emerson on the left-hand side. Back to Paqueta in that half space. Oh, nice pass there. Into the path for Thomas Suchet. Oh, it was Ward-Prowse. He looked like he was controlling it for Thomas Suchet, but yeah. Paqueta, poor pass. Doesn't quite work out. And now they can come forward here. Goodmanson with a big ball forward. Looking for the man out wide. So far, just gets his foot in. Going again. Well, stopped again by Sufal. Yeah, because he's not having a good game today. Paqueta's not doing too well. Ball gets played straight into the path of Sufal, who we're hoofing it a bit too frequently for me. Hoofing it a bit too frequently when we don't need to. Situation like that, I mean, Sufal was under a bit of pressure, so that one understandable. But there's been a couple of times where it comes to him. Sufal, his everything in his body urges him to hoof it at all times. But just a bit frequently, Vitinha coming forward. Looking to try and whip it in. Thankfully, it's straight into the hands of Areola. Poor cross in the end. Poor haircut as well. Did not notice how poor that haircut was until just now. But yeah. I think it was Koleosho, the one who was trying to take on Sufal. Who, from a defensive standpoint, Sufal was having a good game. Koleosho, I think it was. He was the one on the left, so I assume it was him. Trying to step to him 2 times there, and both times Sufal gets the better of him. But again, just so quick to boot it, just to punt it. Paqueta, again, balls left wanting. Alvarez is somehow the one who collects it at the far side. Battling with the number 5. Ball ends up getting played in, cleared away, and West Ham collect the ball on the halfway line. I can see either. At this point, I don't particularly see either team scoring. No, they've definitely. I mean, that chance, that big chance, notably for Burnley, was a really good opportunity. Outside of that, I don't feel like either side look particularly like scoring as of yet. He's not having a great game so far. You know. James Ward-Prowse laying it back to Areola. Nice ball to. I tell you what, it was a decent enough ball to Sufal, but he does well just to chest that down to Alvarez, getting involved in the build up there, just stopping that from losing the ball quickly. Although their pressing's not bad, Burnley, and we're passing it around at the back again there, but just every time we seem to find ourselves in a little nice position, Burnley, they hammer us in quite well. They lock us into those spaces quite well, and it forces us just to go back. James Ward-Prowse getting involved in deeper here. I don't mind him in these deep positions when we're in possession, but I just want to see him utilise his passing range a bit more, which is something we haven't seen too much of late. Last month or so, we just haven't really seen that. So there he's picking up the ball in between the two. Could have stopped it out from going out for a goal kick, for a throw, and we'll take that. In those positions there, we're passing it around at the back, and he drops in between the centre-backs to try and sort of get involved in play. I don't mind that. I'd prefer it to be Alvarez, but I don't mind that as long as he can utilise that passing range he does have, and it's just so far... Last month, we've not seen it enough. I can't believe Gio and Gonzo think Paqueta is world class. I think he's a liability, constantly giving the ball away in dangerous areas too. I won't shed a tear if he goes. I certainly don't agree with them in the world class bit. I don't think he's world class. I don't, but then again, I don't think we've had a player playing world class since Payet. I think Payet was probably world class, or had world class moments in him. Maybe not his overall game, but he had world-class moments in him. But I don't think we've had... I wouldn't even say Declan Rice was world-class. I think he was the closest we've ever had, but I don't think he was world-class. I don't think Paqueta is a liability. I think he is... I think the way he plays is very scary. But I think part of that is what makes him great. I mean, because the vast majority of the time when he's doing these things that are very scary... it helps us out a huge amount. It's just when it goes wrong, as of earlier, like you're saying, in that sense, that liability sense, when it goes wrong, it can go very, very wrong. But personally, I wouldn't say he's world class. Does well just to intercept the ball there going forward. It's not... Nothing's going to come of it. It's going to be a throw into Burnley, but just getting in there and stopping the play from going forward. We didn't really have that. You know how we started games recently. Of late, the trend seems to be starting games quite fast and furiously, and then dropping off massively as the game goes on. We didn't really start the game with as much vigor as we usually do. Does mean that the drop off's not been as much, but we are still dropping back and getting a little bit less possession on the ball and sort of settling into our usual thing. But we didn't have that usual blitz that we usually have. Maybe a bit hangover from international breaks just sort of not happened. You know, certain players like Sufal obviously getting into trouble over international break, losing arguably two of our three most important players with Antonio and Bowen. We didn't have that sort of buzz that we usually have. Danny Ings getting involved in play in the initial stages, but now sort of gone completely silent. I don't know when the last time he's really done anything is. Colio show wide on the left-hand side. I tell you what, Kudus does well there. Kudus does well. He thought it was a foul, but I thought it was all right. Kudus just coming in and snatching the ball away from him. Yeah. What are you saying about that, bro? What are you saying about that, bro? I disagree with you, but I'll tell you why. Specifically, when you have Danny Ings up front, I think if you're not playing a two up front system with Danny Ings, I think Souček is a necessity up front. I think he's a necessity in the 10 position, but he's not really in the 10 position. We're playing a 4-1-4-1. It's just he's given license to go forward further than James Ward-Prowse is, which, although defensively for us an issue, one, Burnley aren't really getting forward fast enough for it to be an issue, and the second thing I would say is that Thomas Souček has a much bigger presence going forward than James Ward-Prowse can do. And so when you're in a position where you only really have Danny Ings to play up front, which Moyes feels like he has, because like for example, you could have played a two up front system with Kudus or something, but then who are you playing out on the right? There's difficulties there. I think he's a necessity at 10. because Danny Ings doesn't have that presence. Danny Ings likes to drop deep. He likes to get involved with play and run around and do lots of different things. He's not a guy who's going to lead that line. And if you're not going to have someone who's going to lead that line, I feel a lot of the time with us, we need someone to really move the centre backs around, to draw attention away from other players, to push people around. And Thomas Souček can do that. James Ward-Prowse can't. But that's sort of where we're at. When you do lose Antonio, you do lose Bowen. Paqueta does well there. It's not a bad pass there. Emerson ends up not being able to keep it in, but it's not a bad pass there. Slightly better than he has been for the rest of the game. 25 minutes or 24 minutes gone. Neither side looking particularly great so far. See, this is what I was trying to say before the thing, right? I think, as much as I think the rest of the lineup is probably okay, Danny Ings just kind of ruined us going forward. Having said that, Danny Ings isn't the only problem we have today. We're not. There's a couple of off performances so far today. Paqueta, for example, is not playing great, and that's not because Danny Ings is there. So again, as much as it's easy to point at Danny Ings or even Dave Moyes for that sort of thing, I don't think we're particularly turning up as of yet. And Burnley are doing well. Burnley are defending relatively well. They're not incredible. I think I think if we had, for example, Bowen and Antonio on the pitch, I think we could certainly make them look a lot worse defensively than we are right now. But from a pressing perspective, they're doing okay. They're doing all right. They're stopping us from really moving into the lanes that we want to move in. It is what it is. Big boot forward from Areola. His awful long balls, as per usual, goes straight out for a throw. My man's long passing is not the one. Areola brilliantly passing the ball anywhere from short to mid range. Anything past that, forget about it. Forget about it. Only passing around the back. It's a good question. It's a good question, Kelly. Boniface isn't a bad shout. I don't think we could get him. I don't think we could get him in January, but it's not a bad shout. In the same way, I'm seeing us linked again with Solanke at Bournemouth, who I think would be good for us. But again, I don't think we could get him. It's difficult. It's difficult because we have to get rid of Danny Ings first. Unless we get rid of Danny Ings, I can't see us signing another striker. And I don't. And actually, I'll be honest with you. Unless we get rid of Danny Ings, I don't think we should buy another striker. Because that's where Areola's good. He gets pressed there, and he does so well under pressure, just to take the ball around him, just to wrong foot the player and put it into a nice position. And then the long ball is awful, and they get it again. But that's where Areola's good. It'll be difficult to see. I think we shouldn't sign another striker until we get rid of Danny Ings, just because that means Mubama's even further down the pecking order. If we sign another striker, Mubama's gone, 100%. That's the end of that. So I would rather see us do that, but we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see what ends up happening. Vitinho on the right hand side, playing it around. Souček. Nice interception there. Nice little 1-2 with James Ward-Prowse. Emerson picks up the ball wide on the left-hand side. Don't really know what that pass was, if I'm being perfectly honest. Don't really know what that pass was at all from Emerson, and Burnley come away with the ball. Burnley playing the ball around, trying to get it forward. Goodmanson trying to bend it into the path of Jay Rodriguez. Tell you what, Amdouni lays it short to Koleosho. Save from Areola. Not a very good shot, to be honest with you. Not a very good shot. But Areola was equal to it. Burnley trying to recycle possession in the middle. Bit of pressing there. James Ward-Prowse slips over as he gets involved with it. Ball forward again, manages to just about header away. To be honest with you, I think he completely misheaders that, but we come away with the ball regardless. Emerson tries to go forward, and again, they're just blocking out the paths well, Burnley. I think we're too tentative with it. I think we always are too tentative with it, but they're blocking off the paths well. Kudus runs into a dead end. He had no option there, to be fair. He had no option there, but yeah. Fair. Known to be too slow. Yeah, we're not really countering at all, are we, Artel? I wouldn't even call it walking pace. It's sort of the only things we really do are just sort of punt it at Danny Ings and hope for the best. There's not really anything going on there. They're definitely more on him. They're definitely more on him, sir. I think just any time we get, I think the problem with Kudus, I think any time we get it out to either of our wide players, they hem us in quite nicely, trying to force us out, trying to force us back, and they're doing it quite well. I think the difference with Kudus and Paqueta is Kudus gets the ball and instantly tries to run forward with it. Paqueta's quite happy to try and draw them to him, take the ball around, pass it around, try and play some through balls, whereas Kudus gets the ball and runs, and so he loses it really quickly. He's not had too many touches of the ball, but every time he's losing it instantly. I think outside of the one where he got fouled, I can't think of too many things he's actually managed to complete, I mean, if you'd asked me before this season, I would have said I would like to see what he does in the future and maybe put him on the shortlist. I think this season, I don't know. Looking at his Burnley side, it's difficult for him to do anything with it. But at the same time, I'm like, it's not screaming. He's not screaming a Premier League manager at the moment. He looks quite lost in these instances, but Oh my god, we've gone over 300 likes. I just clicked something to check. We're at 346. Thank you. Getting a little bit more tempted in by the press here. They're trying to. I think we could maybe get a bit more adventurous with it. Not to play into their hands, like wholly, but I feel like potentially there you go. Brownhill played out wide, doesn't quite work out. I feel like when they are passing it around and trying to tempt us into that press that we're not doing, and we're doing the correct thing. When someone tries to tempt you into something, the best answer is to not do it for obvious reasons. If they're trying to tempt you into something, don't do it, right? I think Burnley potentially don't look comfortable enough today. Don't look like they have the ability to maybe play around it if we got a little bit more adventurous and just allowed ourselves to maybe step in, not fully, but maybe just getting another person involved there. There you go. Paqueta, that's what he does really well there. Picks up the ball, just carries it past a couple of players, takes a couple of fouls on the way, and that's a yellow card. Does well. Don't know who for. So for who's number 5? Jordan. Oh, Bayer. It's Bayer, I think. I would assume. Yeah, I think there's definitely think there needs to be some. The performances on the pitch aren't that great either. Pinged in from Ward-Prowse. Offside. I love the fact as he kicked the ball there, as he kicked the point into his Ward-Prowse, the commentator was like talking about how good he is at set pieces, and instantly offside from the kick. It's like, okay, okay. He could be drunk now. We'd never know. We'd never know. He might still be on his night out from his international break. Who would know? Who would know? Yeah, I think Paqueta's been off the ball today. off the ball. I think Souček is sort of in this no man's land role where he sort of has to be forward, but he can't really do anything because of it. He's having to run backwards and forwards non-stop to try and, like I say, to try and make up for the fact we have Danny Ings up front. Then getting back into defensive shape when Burnley do eventually work their way forward. James Ward-Prowse is in that deeper role where he just gets completely lost. Again, I think it is worth saying when two of your three most important players are injured, there's not that many options, you know? Paqueta does well to get involved there. He goes down so... Paqueta, just get up, bruv. Like, it might have been a foul. It might have been a foul. Who knows? But my G, don't go down like that and then complain instantaneously. He's like, he goes down so spectacularly as if he's been shot and then instantly starts complaining. It's just a bit pathetic. Anyway, Burnley can't work their way forward down the right-hand side. Sanderberg back to Vitinho, trying again. Looks decent on the ball. Crossing's not great. Oh, but that is from... Oof. That was from Berg. Sanderberg put it in and Amdouni couldn't quite get his header on target there. Not a bad ball in though. That two up front system doing well to give Amdouni a bit of space. But the header wasn't there. Potentially, I think Burnley might. I feel like they wouldn't be buzzing about it either because if we score, it doesn't really look like they've got like they've created the two best chances, Burnley, right? You could maybe even argue the three best chances, but the two best chances have gone to them. That header that just happened there, and the Amdouni one where he couldn't quite get there a full stretch earlier. But they don't particularly look like they're creating much either. If we'd scored, if we got a goal, I don't know if Burnley would have anything to really get back into this game. Played forward from Burnley. Heavy touch from Alvarez, but jumps in twice well to get that one, stop it from going out. Kudus fouls Taylor on the way up, but he's battling with it. We'll take that. Yeah, but it's not necessarily even if he was dropped. The point I'm making is, if our usual striker for the last 4 years, Mikel Antonio, right? Most important player we've had. I think he was way more important than Declan Rice. In terms of how he played, I think he was more important than Declan Rice. We can't play him. Okay, so you play Bowen up front. I think that's a bad shout, but whatever. We play Bowen up front. Can't play him. So all of a sudden, you're in a situation where it's like, well, your two most important players, one of whom is shot from range from Burnley, isn't gonna. One of whom is a incredibly effective right winger for us in terms of offensively and defensively, and also is our second choice striker. The other one is our first choice striker, top goal scorer we've ever had. You've got no options. You've got no options. It's not entirely surprising that we are ineffective when that kind of importance of players are out. It's not necessarily that, Antonio's having a great season or whatever. But it's just looking at it honestly and saying, well, the vast majority of teams in the league, if you took away their first choice striker, their second choice striker, their first choice right winger, also their best, arguably two of their best players, they would struggle as well. That's not an excuse because, like I say, I don't think we're playing well enough. I think we could afford to be a bit more adventurous than we are. I think we're not helping ourselves in a lot of ways. But I feel like there is something in there, where you can just go, we need to be a little bit more honest about it. Koleosho goes down in the area. Sufal has his hands raised. I don't think Sufal was even facing the right way at the time. I'm not sure. I think that might be a dive from Koleosho. I'm not going to lie. Well, a dive or not a penalty. I don't know which way it is. Alvarez picks up a yellow for dissent. My boy, the machine, getting a yellow card for dissent. Sufal is saying he didn't do anything to Koleosho. The conversation isn't even being had with the ref. It's being had with Koleosho and Sufal right now. Looking at it again. Yeah, there's no penalty there. Zero chance that's a penalty. Zero chance that's a penalty. Koleosho tries to turn Sufal. He's barely facing the right way. Nah. His leg is out, but... Nah, I don't think it's a penalty for me. It's a bit closer on inspection. On the VAR inspection, it's a bit closer than I thought it was, to be fair. His leg is out, but his leg... his leg is... It's a bit closer than it was. I would still personally say it wasn't a foul. No foul. No foul. There we go. VAR confirmed. No foul. I don't think it was a foul. I think it's closer on VAR expansion. His leg is out a little bit, and it does look like it goes towards the player. But if I'm being honest, I think Koleosho could avoid that quite easily if he tried. Like, if Koleosho just moved ever so... Like, Koleosho's running into him. Like, you're telling me a player with the agility, the ability to turn in the way Koleosho has, that he couldn't do that? I disagree. Otherwise, what was the touch? Where was he going? If he's touching it to go way further away, do you know what I mean? It's one of those ones. Dave, as D Punch Drunk Gaming, thank you very much for the £2. Massively appreciate it. I put your name and also Tom's because I keep forgetting into the thing at the top. Commentator there just talking about whether he felt like it should be given. He said the more he looked at it, the more he thought it was one. And I can see what he's saying. Dave, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much. GP, also thank you very much. And Woody, I know Woody's not here at the moment. Woody's watching the game. But Woody, shout out. Saying the more he saw it, the more he thinks it was foul. I understand what he's saying, but yeah. Our first corner of the game, 41 minutes into the match. James Ward-Prowse to take. Zuma and Vitinho just having a conversation with the referee here. Referee's called them both across. Here comes the corner. James Ward-Prowse whips it in to that near post. Can I just say, James Ward-Prowse corners, specifically the in-swingers, annoy me so much because, my God, are they in the exact same position every single time? Like, unbelievably in the same position. Like, pinpoint precision in the exact place that does not work every single time. And it's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. Yeah, it's turned into quite a worrying half, hasn't it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Again, apparently got a yellow card at some point during that. I missed that, but that's happened. Emerson does really poorly there. Runs into space, has time and space on the ball, and decides to pass it to Burnley. Thankfully, the machine Alvarez is there to stop it from going forward. Oh, and Alvarez scores. I'm going to lose my mind. I love him so much. I mean, he's on a yellow card here for dissent, and he's going to have to be very, very, very careful. Because I can see a red card coming his way. But Koleosho going down a little bit awfully. What can you do? Winger's going to win. Played wide to Vitinho. Coming forward, looking for the cross. James Ward-Prowse easily blocks that cross. It's going to be a corner to Burnley. I don't know why we don't just put it in those areas. We've got a guy who's so good at delivering the ball. Put it into danger, like put it into those sort of areas. And we've just got loads of big dudes. Just put them all in there. Just bundle it in there. I don't understand why we're trying to be cute with it. Like when we have the outswingers, we're relatively good with them. And look, I get it. We've scored their corner, goes straight into the hands of Areola. Like I get it. We scored from that corner before. That exact corner routine of playing it into that area. And I understand it. You put it into an area that's dangerous. That's dangerous for the opposition. They don't know whether they want to come and collect it from a goalkeeper perspective. You know, any touch on it can lead that to a goal. But I just think it just hasn't worked. And we just keep trying it. And it's very frustrating to see when we have someone like James Ward-Prowse who can really put in those deliveries. Put them into an area where, you know, where we can dominate. Like, don't get me wrong, Burnley have some big guys. Sanderberg, for example, they have some fairly large lads, but realistically, I don't know. Unsurprisingly, Koleosha goes down again. Don't get me wrong, I think that one was a foul, but you're just going to hear that a lot, I feel, today. Koleosha goes down. Koleosha goes down. I think you're 100% correct. It feels pointless to me, but what do I know? Played in. Rodriguez can't get his head to it. It goes flying out. I'm not sure either for goal kick or throw in or what. I'm not sure. Rodriguez tries to rise for it, as does Bayer. Can't quite get there, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Just to give you some sort of vibe on how the game's gone, 1 minute of additional time. That's how little was gone on. 1 minute of additional time. And there was a VAR check. Certainly feeling like a last on match of the day kind of vibe so far. Ball come forward from Areola, instantly loses out. Head tennis ensues from West Ham and Burnley. Bit hoof tennis matched into it. Look at that big hoof. Straight back at it. 54% possession from Burnley. Sorry, 53% possession from Burnley. Emerson tried to... Does well, actually, to keep that one... Keep under a bit of pressure. So far, looking for the ball forward to Kudus. He manages to find him. Kudus just runs into a dead end. There's the halftime whistle. Yeah, bad. Real bad, wasn't it? Just poor. There's not really much more to say about it. I mean, it's been a fairly unremarkable half from both teams. I don't think they've been particularly good. I don't think we've been particularly good. I think Burnley have created the better of the chances. That, I think, is very true. I think Burnley have created the better of the two chances. I think that much is true. But they don't look particularly like scoring. We don't look particularly like scoring. It's not good. And I think, look, as much as there's going to be conversations about Moyes, God knows there always is, for Christ's sake, but as much as that's going to happen, it's not exactly like the players that are actually on the pitch are doing very well either. As much as you know, systems and all that are important, and they are. I talk about it way more than anyone else, probably, to my dismay. And I think they are. Don't get me wrong. I think, you know, Danny Ings affects the system massively. You know, not having certain people's affects the system massively, as I was talking about. But the actual performances on the pitch haven't been that good either. I think Paqueta's having quite an off day. I think he got better as the half went on, but I also think he got less chances to do things wrong. As the half went on, I think at the beginning of the game, he was having those opportunities. He was having possession of the ball in good areas and in bad areas, and he was doing consistently bad things with it. There was one early pass that went quite well, but outside of that, his passing was all over the shop. He was losing the ball very deep, stuff like that. I think Kudus is having another one of the games where I don't particularly like what he's doing, but I think most people probably do. I think he keeps running into dead ends, but I think that's mainly because Burnley are covering him well. I think midfield-wise, they just sort of Souček and James Ward-Prowse basically don't exist. Danny Ings doesn't exist up front. Obviously, we know that. We don't even need to talk about him, really. Everyone knows the situation there. It is the situation. Ariola's passing has been awful from goal kicks. His long passing, as per usual, has been poor, but it's been in a game where we have nothing else. He's been particularly poor. I don't know. I just think it's just not good. It's just not good. And I don't think there's much to say more than that. I think it's difficult. It's not. This is the sort of game which is hellish when you do a watch along because there's just nothing to say. Burnley aren't doing particularly very much. We definitely aren't doing very much. And what's frustrating to me is I feel like I was saying this earlier on in the game. I've been playing some of the old FIFAs and looking at some of the old teams that we have, and this team specifically, this group of players we have, is so much more talented than the teams we have had in the past. But I look at the bench, right, which I'll have running across the bottom screen now. I don't know how much is going to change with any of those. I think, look, obviously Mubama for Danny Ings, I think, is an obvious change. I think that's an obvious one, but I also don't think that's going to solve all of our problems with the way Burnley are playing and the way they're being effective. It might mean that we can, some of those long balls that Soufal, for example, has played towards Danny Ings, of all people, like that's going to work. We might have a slightly better chance of winning the first ball with that. But I just don't feel like there's. It doesn't feel like there's much going on today. It just doesn't feel like there's much to really grasp onto in any way, shape, or form, which is really frustrating because this is a game which, we speak about it a lot on Hammers Chat. When you look at the fixture list and you go, right, these are wins, these are losses. Like, for example, when you face Manchester United and you lose, that's fine. If you win, there's bonus points, whatever. These are bankers. A game against Burnley, who have got 4 points in the league so far, a win and a draw, I think it is. That's one you'd bank on winning. That's one you'd bank on definitely winning. And the fact that we are creating nothing, I think it's fair to say, at the very least, I think it's fair to say that we've created nothing against a team which, again, should be a banker of a win. It's not good. It's not good. But let's see how you feel in the live chat. Let's see how you feel in live chat. While you're here, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. We, of course, have our live match review with Gonzo straight after the match. But until then, we're live throughout the entire game, so please do get involved. But let's see how you feel. Woody, for example. Good to see you, Alan. It's so dull, it's unreal. We'll probably win 1-0 from a set piece, and I'll spend the next 3 days looking at the table, convincing myself it's okay. Then repeat again on Thursday. Yeah, a little bit. It's incredible. It's an incredibly dull match. It's turned into an incredibly dull match. Moyes never changing anything at halftime. I doubt he will. He doesn't tend to. He has done randomly in the past, and I go, my God, he's actually done something. I don't think that'll be the case today. I do think he'll bring on Mubama for Ings at some point today. I just don't know when. I would have more excitement at a funeral. My God. Our build-up seems to struggle when Alvarez and Ward-Prowse play in a pivot. Yeah, I think we've got the defensive. I think we do have the 4-1-4-1, especially when it's defensive. But Burnley aren't spending anywhere near enough time in positive positions to really make us find that for us. Look, it's our usual thing, when we face top teams, we do well. When we face poor teams, we do badly, and I think that's exactly what's going on again today. How can anyone defend this manager? It's beyond my understanding. I don't necessarily think you're wrong today, Royale, but what I would say is that there's definitely bigger problems. Well, not bigger problems. There's definitely more problems than just David Moyes today. If we're all being honest with ourselves, yes, guess what? Paqueta is playing on the pitch, someone we all would play. Is he having a good game? No, he's having an awful game. I think there's multiple problems to talk about. It's not just that. Take off again from Afropanos ASAP before we go down to 10. The inevitable happens. There's a couple of yellow cards that are going to be a bit scary. Again, is the obvious one. Alvarez, another one who concerns me, especially with people like Koleosho, who, if I'm being honest, go down a little bit easy. Don't necessarily think he's diving. I just think he goes down at the first chance. A slight gust of wind sends him flying. And like you say, again, and Alvarez specifically, I'm like, if I'm Kompany at halftime, I'm saying to see people like Koleosho, just run at him. Just run at them. They'll eventually they're going to have to take you down, and eventually they will get a second yellow and they'll get sent off. You know. Yeah, tactics are definitely an issue today. I also think a lot of them are just underperforming and just look a bit lost. And I think Burnley are doing. I do think we would be remiss to say Burnley are doing okay defensively. It's certainly not that we just have nothing. I think Burnley are doing a fairly good job with the pressing side of it, just reducing our chances, reducing the space. Look at every time Kudus gets the ball, there's like 5 players just sprinting at him. They're doing a good job in those senses. Kudus could do a better job of not running straight at him, but I think they're doing a good job in that sense as well. I think we would be remiss not to give them at least the slightest modicum of praise. I certainly don't think, like I say, I think they are trying to lure us in. They're playing quite deep. They're playing the ball around quite patiently, hoping to drag us out of our position so they can attack into the spaces that we vacate. And we just aren't giving them that space. I think today we could be a bit more adventurous and really. We could be a bit more adventurous and maybe throw another man into our press or just try to step to them a little bit, because I don't think they look comfortable enough on the ball when they have had when Ings, Souček, Paqueta have stepped to them. I don't think they've looked comfortable enough to the point where I would say. I don't think they'd look comfortable enough to say where we could go, oh no, we can't step to them under any circumstances, otherwise we're screwed, like I do against someone like Brighton, for example. I feel like if we were to be a little bit more adventurous in those zones, we could force them into situations they're not keen on and create some chances for ourselves, some high turnovers. That would be nice, would be fun. Whether or not we'll do that is very unlikely, but I feel like we potentially could. Because they just don't look that comfortable. We never close anyone down. Yeah, exactly. Respect the point at Burnley. Yeah, Burnley's a 3-point banker. It has to be. It has to be a 3-point banker. From where we're hoping to be in the Premier League, it has to be a 3-point banker. How long is Bone likely to be out? I missed that. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that serious, rubber fingers, but he's out for at least today. I didn't see what Moyes' comments were. I know Gio did a video on it yesterday. I did a thumbnail for it the night before, but I don't remember. I didn't watch it, so I have no idea. If someone has that information, feel free to give it to Rubber Fingers. James Prowse, Souček and Lucas all playing out of position. Ings playing in the wrong system, so what do you expect? We're 10th. We spend the 10th most in the world, and this is what we have to come to expect. It's not good enough, says E. Davis. Mubama lacks experience. How is he meant to get experience? Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season, we just should have loaned him out. If this is the position we're going to be in, if this is what we're going to do, I don't understand why we didn't loan him out. It just should have happened. And the thing is there's no way we could have said, oh, this wasn't going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. So the fact that we didn't loan him out, I think is is ridiculous. Because there was options for him, and we just didn't take him. I don't know. I think it's dumb. We're getting close to the end of the half, by the way. At the end of the half time, by the way. So if you are heading off, that's fine. Enjoy the second half, but make sure to come back at full time, because Gonzo will be live with a full live match review straight after the game. But hey, I will be live for the entirety of the second half. We'll be talking through the match as it happens, reacting to all of the goals that we're definitely going to score. So make sure to stick around if you want to. I would love you to. And, get involved in that, because Jesus Christ, it's a boring game. We might as well keep each other company and entertained, right? That's how it vibes. And subscribe, because we do it. We do it every single game we can. We are here live, and we've done it more consistently over the last 4 years than anyone else on the platform by a significant distance. So subscribe. Just checking in. How's the game? Says Nutty. Not good, Nutty. It's a very boring game. It's a very, very boring game. Moyes is such a poor tactician. This is tragic. Edson Alvarez, they call him El Machine. That means badass in Mexico. It's not the machine. Is that what it means? Okay, fair enough. I thought it was machine. Thank you, Edgar, for that information. I needed that. I'll just call him El Machine. We'll just call him that. We'll just give him the respect he deserves. Okay. How many likes are we looking at? It's a good question, Val. We were at almost 400. We're at almost 400. We're at 392. Which is wild for us, especially at half time. That's crazy. That's huge for us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. We could be on for a big one today, despite the awful football show. I'd rather have Southgate, says Brad, who is trying to depress us all, apparently. Is there a more consistently boring side than us? To watch my 10-year-old son, my 10-year-old son's game earlier was more exciting with more fluid passing. Yeah, probably, if we're being honest about it, but not many. Not in the Premier League anyway. Sufar was lucky with the no pen decision. I think the more I saw it, the more I tend to agree with that, to be fair. It would be more exciting to watch Charlie. But listen, the longer it goes, who knows? Who knows what might happen? Who knows what might happen? Moyes won't make the changes unless we go behind, and it will take him 10 minutes, says Justin. It's not a banker when your manager's a W at NKER, says Obsidian Curse. Mubama for Ings in the 89th minute is definitely a truer sounding one than ever, Johnny. So lucky they didn't get that pen. 92nd minute, Mubama on. It's crap all down to Moyes not having a clue how to use the squad. It's full of potential. We're looking poop emojis against the bottom team. Highlights how bad the Moisasaurus is. Mubama on for the 90th minute. This is a must win. We need to attack and play with a press and give them something to think about. We don't look like a team who will score. Disagree and agree to certain extents, Papa. We need to do something more, but I don't know. I'm not going to go too far into it. There's probably not enough time as the second half is getting closer to be underway. Surely an interim manager is better than this Joker. Disagree, but we move. Stay positive, says WHU Matteo. Just never gonna happen, mate. I'll be honest with you. Just some Nomad says it's not a pen. He could have easily run past him, but heavy touch. That's my bet. That's my thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we were somewhat lucky. I think he did. His foot was out slightly, and you could make the argument that it was moving towards the player. But I do think he could have very, very, very easily avoided him. And when you're in situations where you could be easily avoided, it frustrates the living daylights out of me when you don't just avoid him. Like, you're a footballer. You're a professional footballer. Just run around him, bro. Just run around him. The teams are coming back out at the moment, by the way. And the timer will be correct when we start once again. Never closing anyone down. All Burnley have to do is pass the ball in their own half, and no West Ham player will do anything. Yeah, that's true, Metaversal. But at the same time, they're not exactly going to do anything with it. That's the idea. We're happy for them to pass around at the back because they're not going to do anything from passing around at the back. It's when they get into deeper positions where it becomes a bigger problem. However, as I said earlier, I feel like we could probably and should probably have a little bit more of a presence in and around them when we're doing that, because I feel like we could force them into situations they don't want to be in. 100% this, Mark. We are 100% last on match today. 100. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The teams are coming back out. I can see Kompany on the touchline. David Moyes coming out. The teams are out and about. We're getting underway in the second half in a second. Like I say, one more time, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, because we are live all of the time on this channel. Watch alongs every single game we can. The most consistent of anyone. Second half, big second half coming on the way. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse has been notably absent again. Unsurprisingly, given the formation we're playing and the way we're playing. And Thomas Souček, like I say, being a necessity going forward because of Danny Ings, but we're not really doing anything with that, so it almost feels pointless. You might as well switch the two of them. But not that that's going to help. Still. Second half underway. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run two things as the second half gets underway. West Ham take it. Lucas Paqueta plays it back. Big boot forward. Instantaneously lose the ball out. Forward come Burnley. Playing the ball around leisurely. Burnley at the back. We're sort of present in their press though. Again, they're here trying to lure us into those positions, trying to lure us into that press, and we're doing it this time. There's like 3, 4, 5 of us trying to get in there. Burnley tried to play the ball forwards. Flicked back from Taylor. Easy cut. Again, they're trying to lure us in with that slow passing around the back, and it's working. We've got a lot more people forward this time than we have done for the rest of the game. Paqueta's charging him down right now. Trafford having the ball he's instantly on top of. James Ward-Prowse is flying forward. Ball switched out wide to Koleosho. They're going to look to counter-attack here. Down the left-hand side. He's got Taylor on the overlap. He instead decides to go in towards the box. He's going to go down. Yeah, he's gone down. Penalty. Penalty. The second he gets into the box, he's going to go down. Don't you just love it when things you say come true? As I said, the reason why we don't step to him more is because we don't want to leave that space in behind. Instantly, we step to him more. They play the ball to Koleosho, who sprints into the box. One thing I said come true. Second thing, he sprints into the box. I say the second he gets in there, he's going to go down. Guess what happens? He goes down under attack from Kudus. Is that a foul? Is the second question I'd ask? Surely that's not a pen. Surely that's not a pen. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe he does tread on him. Maybe he does tread on him. Referee's talking to VAR. He's got his hand in his ear. I'm obviously not looking at chat because I know you'll be a minute at least ahead. So you'll know. The referee's just allowing it to wait. He's talking to the VAR. He's got his hand in his ear. Jay Rodriguez will be the one to take the penalty. He's a good penalty taker, Jay Rodriguez. It's going to be a pen. Everyone else is left, so pen confirmed. He must have trod on him. He must have trod on him. From the angle I saw, it didn't look like it, but he must have. He must have. Jay Rodriguez, take the pen. Could be a huge goal for Burnley, this. Both in terms of the game and for the season. And Areola is an awful penalty saver. Jay Rodriguez steps up. 1-0 Burnley. 1-0 Burnley. I hate to say it, but everything I said came true instantaneously. You hate to see it. You really do. It's Burnley 1. It's West Ham 0. It's a penalty. It's Jay Rodriguez who scores it. We tried to step out of ourselves. We tried to press instantaneously the space that's left in behind. Ball comes into Koleosho, who runs into it, runs into the box. As we said, if I was Kompany, I would just run at him, Koleosho, especially towards the centre of the park where Alvarez is, where Aguerd is, where you're going to get more chances because they're on yellows. He just runs for it. Kudus tackle from behind, pen, and obviously Areola is what it is. There you go, 1-0. Hate to say it, but literally everything I said came true. So we move. Spin this into something positive. They're more likely to sit in. And try and be a bit deeper, which might encourage Danny Ings to be in a more advanced position, which will hopefully in turn mean that he's more likely to get on the ball and actually do things. Because when we're playing counter-attacking football, that's just counter to everything Danny Ings is as a human being. So the idea of trying to play him into those positions is pointless. So hopefully if they sit in a little bit deeper, maybe we'll see Danny Ings on the ball. I'm stretching. I'm really stretching. But, who knows? Who knows? Moyes Rex, Euro winner and Asteroid Survivor, thank you very much for the 20 SEK Swedish kroner, I believe. Thank you very much, sir. And for you, Moyes, how do we spell this? Moyes Rex, Euro winner, and we're going for the full name. Asteroid Survivor. There we go. Hopefully it hasn't broken a little bit. But thank you very much for the 20. Boys, Borosaurus, not Moisasaurus today. Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. If I speak, I am in trouble. What do we do? What do we do? Need baby bells here? If people vote for it. People vote for it. Give it a swing. Try and be positive, innit? I don't even think there's no comment. No comment. No comment. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Looking for Sufal, plays it in, cleared away. Kudus just playing it out to Sufal. First really time we've seen him get into those sort of positions across the ball today. Koleosho foul Sufal. At some point, Koleosho probably should be getting a yellow. He's diving. He's fouling. Probably at some point should get a yellow if he's going to keep doing this. You'd imagine. And then potentially even a red after. Ugh. Whipped into the box. Can't quite get there. The head shot from almost from Thomas Souček. It's blocked. Again, picks up the ball wide on the left-hand side from the free kick in deep position. Tries to take the ball past Rodriguez. I think that went out. Yeah, it did. I was gonna say it looked like it went out there. Again, not known for his close control wing dribbling there, and does accidentally dribble that one out. But there we go. A chance that we haven't had so far today, really, that one. Free kick in a deep position, just whipped in almost like a cross. We take that. We take that. Thank you very much. Again, you don't have to. It's very kind of you, Dave. To paraphrase the great Alan Partridge, Moyes. Moyes, you're sacked for doing this. You're not a good manager. You're rubbish. Thank you, Dave. Very kind of you to say. That will break the top thing, so we'll just have to do a second one because it just will go poorly if I try to add that to the thing at all. I haven't actually checked if it's broken yet, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. You'd love to see it. Look at that. Shot from James Ward-Prowse, can't quite make it work. Deflects off. We're getting closer. We're getting those opportunities in a more advanced position now. We'll see if it carries on. Like I say, they are getting deeper, so we are starting to get a bit more opportunities. Side note, is that what do you call it, ref? Jeff Vader, for example, get Kompany in. Disagree. Even if he does win this, it's still 2 wins and a draw in however many Premier League games. It's certainly not something I would back. But at the same time, vibes. Jeff Vader, is that what you call it? Doesn't what's his name say that in his set? What's the stand-up comedian's name? Whipped into the exact same position as per usual when we have an in-swinging corner. We had an in-swinging corner. Guess what happened? We in-swinged it directly into the exact same space we always do. Guess what happened? We didn't score. Izzard. No, Izzard. Darth Jeff Vader. Doesn't he say Jeff Vader in that? I might be wrong. If it is, I respect it. Played in. Header can't quite make it work. Paqueta hits it. High and wide. Drop to him. Tries to strike it from just on the outside of the box. Like I say, we're getting more chances. They are sitting deeper. We're getting chances all of a sudden. Not all of a sudden. We were trying to force it at the beginning of the half as well. It just didn't quite work out. Head away from Brownhill, I think, and then Paqueta just hits it just as it bounces up. Toe punts it high and wide, unfortunately. What's your favourite fish? Salmon. Koi is pretty cool. Love a little koi pond type vibe going on. Food-wise, cod. Yeah, I'd have to go for koi. Clownfish, not against. I like the Nemo colours going on, but very true. It's old Greg. Sorry, apologies. It's very clearly old Greg. It's very clearly old Greg. I apologise. I disrespect Goldfish. Not bad. They're coming forward here, Burnley. Amdouni hits it. Areola does all right with that one. Areola does all right. It's shot hard and low, right near to the near post. And Areola reacts well. That's a difficult place to get it. That's a difficult place to get it. Especially with his hands like he does there. Again, just James Ward-Prowse and again getting caught out. He charges into space, and especially with his hands, that's a difficult place to get it. So Amdouni does well. Just to find, he looks up, sees the space, hits it into it. Equal. We take that. We take that. Haddock. Decent. Anchovies on a pizza for the win. Never had it, but Fry from Futurama says it's good. Whipped in from the corner, headed well over from Burnley. Well over. From I think that was Bayer. Just hammerhead. Well over. Favourite Smith song? Koi boys? Yeah. It's Moist the Koi. McCoys, like the crisps. It's very exciting. Smith song. I don't actually know. Gary Breen. Mark. That's unreal. I don't actually know if I have a favourite Smith song. What's that? It could be the first time. That one. But I don't remember what it's called. Is Roxanne the Smiths? I've changed my mind. Is Roxanne the Smiths? If it is, it's Roxanne. I can't remember if Roxanne is the Smiths. As in, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You won't have to share your body to the night. Roxanne. That one. It'd be that. If that's the Police. Damn it. I knew it was the something. Of course it is. Stuart Copeland. I'm an idiot. That's where it comes from. It's Roxanne the Smith. Charlie, what you... Look. Please, allow me. Allow me. Did the Smiths do the It Would Be the First Time song? The It Would Be the First Time. Is that the Smiths? If so, it's that one. Here's the Police. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's not... I think they just said we're going to see a double change. I can see people... people stripped off and ready to come on. Whipped in. They're playing it around. This is what I'm saying. You see that? Burnley are trying to play it around there, and they're just not comfortable on the ball in those positions. They want to, you know, but Ward-Prowse does well there. Ward-Prowse did really well there to keep possession of the ball, nutmeg the guy. Maybe. I don't know. Let me Google it. Paqueta trying to flick it around the back, can't quite make it work, loses out. Please, let me get what I want. Yeah, it is that one. That one. Andromeda knows. Please, let me get what I want. That's the one. And that is the Smiths. So, got that one correct, didn't I? Genius. Kudus cuts inside, tries to make something happen. Got a lot of people forward. Again, we've been better in the second half. We got better, and the exact thing I said would happen, but it happened. But we have got better. Whipped into the box, not bad, into the path of Kudus, but it was Kudus. I tell you what, Trafford does incredibly to keep that one out. I tell you what, not to keep that one from going in. It was never going in. It was going very, very far. But ball gets played over the top. Kudus sort of nods it on. It feels like it's going out of play after deflecting off a Burnley player. And he just runs and diving headers it, Trafford, to stop that one from going out for a corner. You've got to respect it. You've got to respect it. I'm seeing lots of people saying Mubama. Have I predicted that one as well? A bit earlier than I said, to be fair, but I always stick with 69. Ben Rama. What Mubama and Ben Rama. Be interested to see whether he keeps Ings on and tempted to go for a 2 up front. I think that's Ings. Is that 18? Yeah, it is. It is. Danny Ings off. A poor return to Turf Moor for Daniel Ings. His hair transplant going very well for him. Footballing wise, the exact opposite. Vamos Alvarez also off. Said Ben Rama. So you'd imagine now we've got a double pivot of Thomas Souček and James Ward-Prowse. That's bound to go well for us. That's really... guys, I have a really good feeling about this double pivot of James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček, although last time we said that, he kept them on and they scored, so maybe we should shut up about that. But aside of that, we're bang on. So I guess we're going for... I guess it'll be a more traditional 4-2-3-1 at this point. With Paqueta in the 10 role behind... With Paqueta on the 10 role just behind Mubama, Ben Rama on the right... Oh, sorry, on the left and Kudus on the right. It looks that way. Paqueta seems to be pretty central, so it looks that way. It looks that way. Is this charming man the Smiths? This charming man's quite good as well. There's something about the Smiths I don't know the Smiths that well somehow. You know? I just poked myself in the eye. That's how well today's going, by the way. I went to do that and just went pow straight into my eye. I just don't know the Smiths that well. Although the lead singer of the Smiths, I can't remember his name. My brain is distracted by Burnley versus West Ham. I did walk past his house once on a walk. You know. Morrissey. Oh, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Oh, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Yeah, we take it. We take it. To be fair, look, the Mubama overrated thing, right? Actually, like, you know, is what it is. Like, I think he probably is overrated, but that's just because we're talking about him as if he's the second coming of Christ. But that's because of the situation we want him to play, and so we talk about him all of the time. If you know what I mean. But like, I don't think that necessarily means he's bad. Do you know what I mean? I really want him to play. I'm excited to see him play. I mean, it's a poor game of football, so I don't really think he's going to get much of a chance, if I'm being honest about it. But you know, we move. It's going to be thrown to West Ham on the left-hand side. Fairly advanced. We're sort of in Burnley's half anyway. You're a 90s kid, it's not your fault. Thank you, GP. Thank you. What's your favourite Atomic Rooster album? Is there a band called Atomic Rooster? Because if there is, it feels like something I need to get heavily involved with. I probably shouldn't say those things out loud, just in case it's something horrendous. But at the same time, what a name for a band. Playing the ball around now. It's noticeable that we've had so much more of the we've been so much better in the second half. Well, I'd say so much better. It's noticeable that we've been a lot more advanced in the second half. A lot more advanced. Amdouni does really well there to turn Zuma. It's probably a yellow for Zuma, no? Takes out Amdouni in the middle of the park. Or is it on Soufal? Is he calling for a Soufal yellow? Maybe it was. I thought it was just a simple foul from what do you call it? Yeah, card show for the handball. Fair enough. I probably wrong, but still. Prog rock. Something was prog rock. I don't know. If we're talking prog rock, you can't go much wrong with Jethro Tull. Sitting on a park bench. See, you joke, right? But that's actually kind of something I probably would listen to. What's that guy's name? There's a Japanese jazz pianist that I think bangs. What's his name though? Burnley having a throw in further up the pitch. Oh, what is his name? I don't know what his name is, but there's a Japanese jazz pianist that I think's sick. And I've got loads of his stuff on Spotify, but I can't find it right now. Thankfully, their throwing goes poorly and it just works all the way back. And we win a throw in off the back of it. We take that. We take that. We take that. Second half, I think we've stepped forward more. Right? Second half, we've been more advanced. We've tried to do exactly what everyone was asking for, to be more advanced, to press more, to be more in their face. And as I said, we weren't doing it because we didn't want them to hit us on the counter-attack, because that's exactly what they were trying to make us do, to play into our hands. And as I said, exactly what happened. But we've kept up the advancedness of ourselves. We've kept up how advanced we are. And frankly, Burnley haven't done much outside of their goal this half. It's been mostly us. That's the most old man commentary I've ever heard in my life, by the way. He said Koleosho just has the run. He doesn't get challenged. He goes, and that comes with youth. The most old man commentary I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Played in, headed away. Kudus tries to flick it onwards. Looking for Benrahma, can't quite find it, but Benrahma continues to press on Trafford, forces him to boot it long. We win it back straight away, header forward. Although Paqueta, who's continuing to have a poor game, just a little bit lackadaisical that one. Thankfully, the rest of them stop it from happening. Ryuichi Sakamoto, is that his name? Ryuichi. Don't know. All his album covers have his face on them, but he looks younger than he does in the pictures I'm seeing of him. I mean, it's gonna be Google. Nah, it's not Ryuichi Sakamoto, although I'll be looking into this guy after. The Hammers Chat search on YouTube is wild. It's wild. Bear does well to take the ball forward there, but just gets dispossessed at the end of it after a couple of large stretches. Paqueta's just really well there and then lays it out wide. He's just not... It's just not quite there for him yet. You know? It's just not quite there yet. There's flashes of what Paqueta can do today, but the rest of his game's just been off. Poor cross, so Foul manages to collect up the far side, ping back towards Mbama, can't quite get there. Doesn't quite get there. James Prowse loses out on that one. Burnley going to come away with it. When we force them into playing it into an awkward position, they managed to come away with it thanks to James Rodriguez header. Zuma covers that one well. "20 minutes to go. We've been the better team in the second half, or we've certainly been the more front foot of the two teams in the second half." That's offside, Rodriguez. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So it goes. There's going to be some subs. I'm not sure. I think it's Burnley. Yeah, he's a mile offside though. Well, not a mile, but he's significantly offside. Clearly offside. I would say there's no evidence to the contrary. A lot of people would disagree with me, Cam. I would say, of course they are. I don't see any evidence that they're not, but a significant number of people would disagree with me. Yes, that's the name. Where is it? I just saw it. Ray knows. This guy, right, has an album that bangs. That bangs. I don't care what anyone says. It bangs. I don't know what it's called because it's in Japanese. The first song is It Could Happen to You. Mate, yes. In fact, I'm just going to lob it on in the background now. I'm just going to listen to it while we watch this game because at this point, who cares about the football? Vibes. Vibes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. They were there. Rodriguez, that's a good ball, actually. That's a good ball to Amdouni. Koleosho's there. Amdouni goes by himself. Didn't really have the space to play the ball in and ends up hitting it high and wide. Didn't really have the space there. He tried to create it. Couldn't find it. Ball gets played down the line nicely from Jay Rodriguez just to find him in that space. Zuma trying and desperately to catch up with him. Does manage it. Closes off the angle well. And it's high and wide. It might be core, actually, to be fair. No, it wasn't. It was a goal kick. Okay, I thought it was probably a goal kick, but the replay looked like it might have taken a deflection. Or Burnley comes straight back at it again from a poor long ball. Lost out, I think, from Paqueta again. He's Paqueta today. He's not Paqueta. Today, he is Paqueta. Played in, headed away from again. Burnley trying to find the cross. Trying to find their way in. Can't quite manage it yet. Felt like a foul from Paqueta there, but apparently... Oh, no, I think it is actually a foul. Against, I think it was Brownhill. There's Goodmanson. Yeah, Goodmanson just taken out from Paqueta there. I thought it was. Yes. Now I'm enjoying this. Got Japanese piano jazz on. Now the vibe is here. Now the vibe is here. Yes. Bell. Yeah, but see, we've had enough calls for bells. I'll tell you what, we'll put it in the chat. Because we've had enough calls for bells. It's just they haven't been like... I always wait for them to be in like bunches. But we'll lob it in. Bell, yes or no poll. Incoming in the chat. We'll be at the top of the chat. We'll give it until 76 and a bit. 76 and a bit. Pardon me. O'Shea looking to try and get the header. Areola plays it out quickly to Mubama, who instantly misses it. Oh, Dean. Yes. Yes, Dean. Yes, Dean. Listen, if I could, I would. I do like Yellow Magic Orchestra. I do. There is that like, I don't know what it's called, but that like genre of like electronic jazz music from that era is just, sorry, not jazz, Japanese music from that era. It's sick. I love it so much. And there was this song my mum sent me a couple of weeks ago. What was it? I can't remember what it was called, but it's similar vibe, and I was bopping to it for a week. Yeah, I love that. Yellow. Big. Dean knows. Dean. This is why Dean's good. This is why you should follow Dean R. Marsh on Twitter and listen to all of his mixes on Mixcloud, because Dean knows, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Dean's not dropping a bit of the Yellow Magic Orchestra in. We've only had one less touch in the opponent's bottom than Burnley. That feels weird to me. He's not dropping it in the middle of the mixes, but still, get in there. Get in there. Ball being played forward again, out wide. Emerson fights Ben Rama. Felt offside, not going to lie. But we win a corner. Not sure how he was onside there. Felt very offside. But we win a corner. I'm not going to complain too much, I guess. And look, last time we complained about leaving James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček on a double pivot towards the end of the game. What happened? James Ward-Prowse corner into Thomas Souček. Now, Notably, I don't. Oh, well, no, it probably was an in-swinger as well, I think, but it just went into a different position than he keeps putting it into now. So here we go. In-swinging corner from the right-hand side. Our left. James Ward-Prowse to take it. Guess where he puts it? Exactly into the exact same space he always does. I have not. I need to look into this. Zuma, over the top. We need to look into this. Ball gets played back across. And Zuma just tries to convert with a little bit of improvisation, little flick of the left heel. Was never going in, bless, but imagine if it did. Unreal goal. Kraftwerk is a pub. I don't know that much of Kraftwerk, to be fair. I only know bits and pieces of Kraftwerk. And Bill Bailey's impression of Kraftwerk. Only bits and pieces. Going to be a free kick again for us. Free kick once again for us. Played in. Across everyone and a sliced clearance from Burnley. Could have just decided to keep that win in. Rodriguez goes diving in. You could have potentially just let one out. We'll still get thrown, but he controls the ball. And James Rodriguez comes flying in and clears him out. He gets the ball cleanly. I love a bit of that from James Rodriguez, but Jesus Christ. Imagine turning around and seeing James Rodriguez come flying at you, legs akimbo. Not a fun sight. Played back here, header from Zuma. Can't quite convert. He does well to angle it, but the power wasn't there, and Trafford collects it. Did it really? Jesus Christ, fair play. Well deserved, bro. Well deserved. But flipping heck, I did not know this. I've barely been on X, so I've been seeing. That's mad. 20. That's wild. See? You lot get involved. You're missing out, bro. You're missing out. Played forward, looking for the run. Whoever came on for Burnley, trying to create a bit of space, can't quite make it work. Brownhill's there. Again, we just close out the opportunities. We've been a lot more comfortable in the second half. Despite this being the one they scored, it's been a lot more our pace this game. This half has been a lot more ours. Just there, we're finding them we're pushing them in positions we want them to be in, and it's working out relatively comfortably for us. Problem is we're still missing Antonio and Bowen. I just realised as well, yes, someone mentioned the bell to me. I completely forgot. 73% of people said yes on the bell. 26% of people said no. So I will go and get the bell now because I just completely forgot it existed. Thank you very much, OG, who reminded me. Give me a sec. Oh, I'll be back in a moment. Jesus Christ, thank you. Got one. Here we go. Oh. Burnley are making a sub while this happens. Oh. Burnley are making a sub while this happens. Koleosho comes off and Zauri comes on in his place. Going to be a free kick in a decent position for us. James Ward-Prowse lining it up, just like an early corner, essentially a deep corner. Everyone lining up at the back to make a little run. Burnley lining up in a line across. Potentially going to play offside. Headed away easily. Ball in was nothing to write home about. And in it goes. Benrahma close. That looked like a definitive handball from Kudus in the build up to that. Kudus gets control. That looks like such an obvious handball to me, but fair enough. Plays it out wide to Benrahma. Couple of step overs. It's Benrahma. What's he going to do when he's wide? Couple of step overs and bend it high and wide. But it was close. It was close. And smashes the camera for good measure. You love to see it. It was very close though. It looks so blatantly. It looks so blatantly a handball. But what are you gonna do? Oh my god, Kevin Nolan rolling back the gears, getting a yellow card for arguing with a fourth official. Is he going to do a classic Kevin Nolan and get a red right before Christmas? Are we going to see a bit? Are we going to see a bit of Kevin Nolan? Are we going to see a Kevin Nolan masterclass and get a red card right before Christmas so he gets a bit of time off over Christmas? Is that what we're going to see? Josh Brownhill, by the way, what an awful shot! Just leans back at all times, just goes flying high and wide. Flying high and wide. 6.5 minutes to go. 6.5 minutes to go. If the team's going to score right now, it feels like it's going to be us, but we don't look particularly like scoring. Punched away from Ward-Prowse and foul in the midst on Trafford. Big GP. Enjoy yourself. Oh, this one bangs. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Rio Fukui is how I'm going to say it. I don't know how to say it. His song called Early Summer, and the beginning has like a big like noir detective out on the beat. You know? New York. Steam. All that kind of vibe. Big here for it. Big here for it. Oh, it's big. Josh Cullen just came on. Come on, Josh. I mean, not specifically right now against us, obviously, but come on, Josh. Big vibes. Good to see him in the Premier League. Love a bit of Josh Cullen. Always loved him with us. Big Bama dropping deep, trying to get involved in the game like he's Danny Ings. Not quite working. Flicks forward. Zuma headers it down. Emerson just manages to flick that one round the back under pressure. Under pressure from studs, it feels like. Oh, nice turn there from Ben. I'll tell you what, Benrahma does well to turn there, and he wins a foul. It was a fairly nice turn. It was a fairly nice turn, to be fair. We take it deep, play it into James Ward-Prowse. That's a nice pass from James Ward-Prowse into the path of Kudus, who controls it well there. Takes on his man, pulls it back across, deflects. Oh, it's in! 1-1! And it's Mubama who's celebrating. Do I know if he's going to get given the goal like usual when he scores? Who knows? We'll find out. It looks like it looked like some sort of deflection. I'm not even sure he knew entirely what happened, but we'll see in the replay. But Mubama is celebrating, and it is 1-1. Kudus does really well there. Really nice fizzed ball forward from James Ward-Prowse into the path of Kudus. And the ability to get that under control is underrated because that pass was heavy. It was hard. But Kudus does really well. Takes it past his man. He's got two men in front of him, one behind him. Takes one, pings it across. I still don't know if that hits off Mubama last. I can't tell at all. Kudus does really, really well. Nice pass from James Ward-Prowse, although potentially overhit, but Kudus makes it work. Do you know what? I don't care. As I said the first time he scored, and as I said the first time he scored, and it got disallowed. I don't care. It's Mubama's goal. This is a good replay for it. Cuts it, pulls it back across. Can't see. 1-1. 1-1. There we go. Go on, Divine. Still don't know how to pronounce his name. But tell you what, he knows where the goal is. 1-1. 1-1. I feel like it's probably their own goal. Shh. As I said, it's definitely his. Definitely his. Definitely his. Shh. Like I said, it felt like if there was going to be a goal in this second half, it was going to be ours. Have another bell. I don't think my stomach could deal with two in that quick a succession. I had an energized smooth. I had an innocence energized smoothie. My stomach is already doing backflips. The idea of adding a second baby bell in quick succession seems scary. Beeb showing it as an own goal. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it gets up. This is very convoluted. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I also think I saw in the melee of people shouting goal. Where is it? Steve, I can't see it now. There was a lot of people shouting goal. There it is. Steve. SCW, of course. One of the best wrestling channels around. What are you talking about? Hope you are. Hope you are, bro. I'm alright. Hope you're good, bro. Hope you're good, bro. You're all shouting bell at me. Is there going to be enough time? I don't know if there's going to be much added time. Like, look, fine. I'll do a poll. I'm going to regret this, but I'll do a poll. Bell. And it'll be a quick one. Quick poll for Bell. I'll give it until the 90th minute. No. Yes, it's 50 seconds. You've got 50 seconds. If it's yes after 50, then fine. Fine. I'll attack my stomach. Maybe the threat of it will work. It's happened before. Maybe the threat of it will work. The threat of it will work has happened previously. We'll see. It does work. I'm not eating the belt. or do I have to? Out of what's the word I'm looking for? Obligation, respect for the system. Kudus. Playing forwards. Over the top. It's going to be a corner. Going to be a corner. 83% of people said yes. Right, I'm going to run when the corner happens. Hang on. Got a corner. I've just brought all of them. I've just brought all of them because we've got a corner and I didn't want to miss it. James Ward-Prowse to take. 7 minutes of added time. Okay, fair enough. We had enough time. We had enough time to get another one. Don't know where he's got that number from. Whipped in. Bounces back out. Soufal back out to James Ward-Prowse again. Finding Kudus. Whipped in. Souček! The threat! The threat is worked. Thomas Souček has scored. 2-1. 2-1. I can't even find the hole in the net. 2-1. Let's go. Thomas Souček gets the goal. I think Kudus with the assist. I think it was Kudus who whips it in. But 2-1. And Thomas Souček does it again late in the game. Oh my God. I can't. Ball gets played. So initially it comes from the corner. James Ward-Prowse whips it in decently. Headed away. Bubama was there. I think actually Zuma. Played out wide. Soufal back out to James Ward-Prowse. Short to Mohammed Kudus. who's looking to try and shift it onto his strong foot. He does really well. And then Thomas Souček at the far side. Just, beautiful finish. Kudus, he's just being shown away from the goal by Berg, and he whips it in. He does really well to just shift it quickly and whip it in quickly before Berg can get the block. And it's a really nice finish from Thomas Souček. Almost scissors it in. Far side volley. It's behind him. It's a beautiful finish. 2-1. 2-1. And I'm going to do this because, you have to respect it. But, there we go. There we go. 2-1. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go. We're on the attack again here. Saeed Ben Rama down the left-hand side. Looks to take on his man. I tell you what, he beats him well enough. Pulls it back. I'm looking for Paqueta. Couldn't quite find him. Did well to beat his man, though. Did well to beat his man. Apparently that's the case, Adam. Apparently that's the case. Is that the new bell? Is that the new bell? I'll try to show it, but I can't get the capture to work for some reason. 2-1. Vibes. 3 minutes to go. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. And all it took was 2 baby bells. First one, we get a goal. Second one, we get a goal. People tell me the system doesn't work. And yet, here we are, once more, with evidence of it working. Once more, it working. There you go. This is the kind of balanced take we were looking for, Dave. Thank you very much. Moyes out bells in. That's the kind of vibe we're looking for. That's the kind of vibe we're looking for. Josh Cullen looking for a big ball forward. Soufal just gets the block. Love the Burnley mascot there, looking to try and play the ball quickly to one of the West Ham players to take the throw in. Us, no rush. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Is at this point I ask you for your man of the matches, seeing as we have won the game. Insanely, we have won. So I'll ask you for your man of the match. Drop yours in the chat, and as I scroll through, whoever gets the most amount of votes, as I read them out loud, just on vibe stake. This is a vibe-based economy. Science is not your god here. We'll win the Hams Chat Man of the Match award. I definitely don't have that in me. I definitely don't have that in me. Definitely not. Kudus fair. Very true. Very true. It's just the proof is just there. Yeah, especially that second one was really good. It does. That is very true. It is very true. He's very effective in those sort of areas. Who we got? Kudus all day long. Kudus. Areola, Ings, Kudus. Kudus, not one of them, says AZ. The Bells, man of the match. Kudus, clear man of the match. Mubama, Kudus, Mubama. Man of the match, hands down. Kudus, Ed. David Moyes, The Bells, Kudus. David Moyes, Kudus, even though he was crap until he assists. Soufal, Kudus, has to be The Bells. Danny Ings. Don't know yet, Eileen. I hope so, but I doubt it. Jay Rodriguez, Ings. Kudus, the travelling fans. Kudus. Kudus has been Moyes, says Alan. What, getting 2 assists? Crazy. Kudus or Mubama, the Bells. What's we got Mubama scored? Oh, he's got another win, mate. I think it's going to be Kudus, I think, to be fair. Yes, chat. I saw it. Yes, yes. Full time is about to be called on my screen. But I think it's fair to give it to Mohammed Kudus. Congratulations to Mohammed Kudus on winning the Hammer Chat Match on the Man of the Match Award. The Hammer Chat Facey McChat Award. Congratulations. 2 assists. 2 assists. 2 goals in quick succession towards the end of the game. A late winner once again from Thomas Souček. Somehow we're still going 30 seconds over the allotted 7 minutes of added time. Big punt forward into Trafford. I will let you know when it gets called on my screen. Wally with the £10, with the $10, sorry. Gonna sneeze. I'm allergic to generosity. Thank you very much, Wally, with the $10. It helps us out massively. Very, very kind of you, sir. You don't have to at all. You know that. Very kind of you. It's now a minute over the time. And there is the whistle. West Ham United 2, Burnley 1. Come on. Come on, Thomas Souček. What a beautiful man. What a beautiful, beautiful man. Gonzo will be live in a few moments' time on the channel doing a match review. He'll be live doing that in a second. I'll get the link for you. I'm going to spam it in chat right now. So make sure if you want, just go and have a look at it. Go check it out. Go celebrate with Gonzo the win. Talk about the intricacies and the difficulties of the game, as well as the fact that we actually won it. Because screw it. Why not? Go and have a little talk about it in detail over there. Link is in the chat right now. But it ends 2-1. A Mubama potentially and Souček goal. In the last 10 minutes of the match. Souček with a late winner in stoppage time. We'll take that. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. Once more before we go, thank you massively to Wally World, of course. Thank you to Dave twice. Thank you to Moisasaurus Rex, Euro winner and Asteroid Survivor. To Tom, to GP, and to Woody. To Alan himself. 2-1 is the final score. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that like button because it helps us out a massive amount. We always hit 500 likes, so we were absolutely flying in that. So thank you very much for that. Helps the channel out hugely. But like I say, link once more in the chat right there for you to go and have a watch of the live match review that's happening in a few moments' time. Thank you very much, and we'll see you for Thursday night's game, where hopefully it's not as stressful as this one. Let's go. See you later, everyone. Bye. Bye.